Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Loft Talk. Today, if you live in the UK and you're old, you're getting kicked out of your house because it's too big. We're going to talk about when phones were weird and still considered smart and were too expensive. Hello, 2005. And we also have some stuff about counting birds. So welcome in. And my name's Kyle. And as always, we have Brandon and Shield over here as well, our co-host.
Yes.
So good day, everybody.
We might be a little slower on the draw today. I think at least 2/3 of us are really tired right now. I don't know about you, Kyle.
This is what yes. Okay. This is what happens when it's the end of the work week. And I'm not saying it's early, but it feels early.
Yeah, it's the middle of my work week. So I am envious of you guys right now.
Yeah, fair enough. Don't think about the upcoming stuff. Just be in there now. It's important. Good psychological tips. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did watch some stuff on psychology with friends as well, and how to play with that. It's pretty entertaining stuff. Yeah, so, I might try to bring up some of that.
So, are we expecting some kind of like tests on us here in the next couple weeks?
It's not necessarily tests, and I would never manipulate you.
All right. Yeah, I feel like that's someone who would manipulate me would say.
I'll never manipulate you, Brandon.
No, it's really interesting stuff. So, like, if I was just talking to Shield, like, if you there's a big part about using people's names to keep their attention as well. That's actually huge. And like, could you just like speak with me about something random? Like, it doesn't have to be anything particular.
Kyle.
Yes.
All right.
You've been very good to me.
Yeah.
I just want to say your name.
No, you're good. You're good.
Kyle, listen. It feels good. It feels good.
Yeah. So, we got into this place, and it's summer's coming. So, what are some things that you're looking forward to for the lovely weather outside?
Well, a hop, a skip, a jump.
But
really, Kyle, I was really wanting to thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I just can't. I only can say your name. I really can't think of what to say.
Yeah.
Kyle. There's a chimpanzee in the attic. I don't know.
This was a total fail.
Fail.
So if you can actually engage someone in like a steady, meaningful conversation, and you go to like hand something to them while you're speaking, like there's like a part of their brain that will just take it from you.
Yeah, they'll always take it.
Shield genuinely needed some baby juice.
Yeah,
So
actually,
it worked out.
You know what's crazy? That did work because I actually was full on juice. I just was full on shitty juice, and I was just like, man.
Yeah, no, that's they will always take it. There's many videos of people finding that out and testing it on their like relatives and stuff, and they're just talking to them the whole time, or like they'll be on the phone and they'll just start handing them stuff, and then by the end of the video, they're just like carrying like a crap ton of stuff while on the phone, and then they get off the phone and they're like, "What are you doing?" Like,
you know what that tells me? That tells me that it's natural for human beings to expect acquiring something when they're interacting with another human being.
Well, I think it's because you're so focused on something that everything else is just going off of like base primal feelings, and it's someone you trust, is someone you love, and they're handing you something. There must be a good reason for it. You don't have the faculties to think about it more than just take it.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, the receiving of something is a neural pathway that is very strong inside our brain, right? So it's well practiced. It just does it by itself.
Yeah, you could tell people that don't get a lot of shit when you do it. They're just like, for me, thank you.
Does that happen a lot?
No matter what they're doing.
No, I just instantly take the thing. I'm just so used to just.
Also, can I just bring something up? This actually speaks a lot about Shield. Like, he took the time to pause and say thank you. You're such a wholesome soul.
I'm so used to just standing in front of somebody and I just have something new. I'm like,
man, that must be nice. Holy crap. Sounds like a great life. Bro, you just walk outside, you come back home with like a new sweater. And
bro, it's always just something. I
mean, yeah. I think I gave him I gave you a jacket at least.
Yeah.
Oh, like, you got a green hat.
Even if it's not tangible, you get something from.
Yo, you should wear that green hat now that you don't have an afro with that yellow. That should look hard.
Green and yellow.
That like teal. Oh yeah.
Green and yellow is just always going to be a thing, guys.
It's pop because of the Packers, right?
Well, it's like a teal. It's like a ocean spray. Green.
Green is
Okay. All right. This is stale.
Well,
Please.
so colors is actually a really interesting thing because I've been told like my whole life, like every new person I meet, eventually a conversation will come up where colors are involved, and then they will eventually ask me if I'm colorblind. I'm not colorblind. I just suck at colors apparently.
Like color theory or
no, just colors. Like there was this whole conversation. I can't remember. It was at a work where I work, and it was like me, two other people that I can't remember. They were managers and or up, and Danielle, and we were talking about like colors, and they were showing like the different shades of blue, and I'm like, that all just looks like the same shade to me. Like it's all just blue.
That's okay. You're a guy. I mean, it's like actually in our genetics to not be as.
But I was the only one who couldn't
shade.
tell the difference out of everyone there.
Well, you're just more of a man.
Yeah, you're more manly.
I'm more of a man.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. Like it does show like increase into that. Yeah,
they see the full spectrum of colors.
Well,
they can see
for a human, yeah.
As much as a human can see, women are going to see the most of the different spectrum of colors, and then men. And mainly they think it's because women were like picking berries and shit and they couldn't fuck up. They had to get it right. Because if they picked the wrong shit, the whole village is dead.
It's probably also why they're really good homemakers. Like
design?
Yeah, because like you go to a bachelor's pad, it's like
chair.
Super bare. Yeah, nothing. But then you go to like a woman's house and it's so nice and cozy and it's like, I couldn't even do that if I tried. I suck at that stuff.
But we love TVs that look good.
Yeah. And just a chair that's fine to sit on that doesn't hurt after sitting on it for 3 hours. That's all. That's all I care about.
That made me think they should market TVs towards women for that reason.
TV stores?
Selective marketing is just bad. I don't think we should do that at all.
They should market TVs towards women because they can see more colors.
That doesn't make any sense.
They're cheating men. How are we supposed to know looking at the TV? We're like, oh, it looks fine.
You should always market towards your
human audience.
Yeah, like the audience that are buying it. Like there's a reason why like games are doing so bad nowadays because they're targeting the wrong audience.
Who are they targeting?
Everybody.
The woke.
I think that's just because.
Well, yes, that is also
everybody.
a problem.
It's everybody.
They're doing everyone. But there's a lot of things right now.
Everybody's not
woke wise that like just not okay with.
I mean, let's just talk about it like in a broader scheme. Like trying to make something for everyone is hard.
Impossible.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, unless it's pants, and that's even hard.
No, that's even
really
more
difficult.
impossible. Yeah, because I seriously doubt the pants that I wear fit you, and vice versa.
They could.
It was stylistically, not necessarily the size, right? We're talking about just like the fit overall.
I'll rock it.
That's hard.
Yeah, because there's people with like long, thin legs that like look good with certain types of legs, and then or like pants, and then there are other people who. Other kind of pants. I haven't worn pants in years, so I don't really know.
Shorts are life.
I think the last time I wore pants was for my job interview. So,
I mean, I don't frequent pants unless they're like comfortable.
Yeah,
I wear pants because I'm not from Arizona.
So wouldn't you be more inclined to not wear pants?
I mean,
I actually am.
I always wore pants when it was cold and shorts when it was hot there, but I mean it just makes sense. You just wear shorts all the time, right?
I was always a pants or a shorts guy, even in like winter with snow, walking to school with shorts. I don't know, it was just things that we always did, you know.
Yeah. And the only difference now is if I tell you wear shorter shorts.
Yeah, it's a little too short. Sometimes
No, it's not.
a little too short.
That's a good look.
It's a little short.
No, it's not.
We're not in the 70s anymore.
No, we can live in whatever era we want because
that is true.
This era is the era of all eras.
That is true.
Like
whether good or bad, that is true.
I think our identity of this era is embracing all the eras.
Yeah, that I was actually watching something not too long ago where it was talking about how we have the best era of all time because it's always going to be the last era that's the best era of all time because you're able to take all of the good stuff from all of the previous eras.
Right.
Like you get all the good music from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, whereas the people from the 80s didn't get the music from the 90s and the 2000s.
The 90s will always have only been 10 years ago.
It's so hard to think about that. It was like, because I do that with my dad all the time. I'm like, no, he's like, yeah, it's a new movie. And I'm like, no, that's old. He's like, when did it come out? I'm like, 2000? He's like, yeah, that's the new movie. I'm like, Dad, that was 24 years ago.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No, I find myself like doing the same thing though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
So I did stop collecting CDs, but I still have like all the CDs I was listening to up to the point of me kind of stopping CDs, or at least like the selection that I had in my vehicle, right? Because it would rotate.
Yeah.
And the last set that I have in my car was when I stopped. And so when I throw in like one of the newer CDs that I got at that time, which, Periphery shouted out, like I slapped that in like 2 days ago, or actually yesterday, because my phone was dead on my way home. And I was like, oh yeah, this album's great. And I look at that as like one of their newer albums, even though it's not, and I have listened to their other albums, but it's the one I have physically. So it kind of shows like having something in a physical media does pertain like a little bit more of a like spot in our world.
Oh yeah.
Versus like streaming.
I'm very, well, there's, because you guys know my stance on physical to digital media. And it's just getting worse. I mean, with the Wii U network going down, any digital game that you had bought on the Wii U
is gone,
and that you don't have downloaded right now is gone forever now.
Yeah.
Like there are digital games that are gone from history now, like that you could never play again because they were never like saved, I just think physical, and you're able to like attach it because it's a physical, tangible thing. Like it just means more to you than like a digital file on your computer.
Yeah. But I still kind of look at that as like a recent album. It's 9 years old.
Yeah. Wow.
It's a little kid.
I'm like, oh shit, it's about to hit a decade.
Yeah.
It's almost in high school.
Wow.
It's
And
about
then
to-
also shout out CDs. They've been cooking in my truck for like a decade in Arizona, and they're still okay.
It's still working?
Yeah.
Damn.
Wild.
It's good technology right there.
Right. I missed one track. Like the last track of that album is no longer working for whatever reason. I don't know.
It's kind of cool when they stop working too, because they
Get some
connect-
glitchies.
Huh?
Get some glitchies.
Yeah, I mean, like one of my fondest memories. Well, for me at least, like, as the years went by, I got less physical media, more digital, until it was like the point where I was like fonding over the good times of when they even were broken. Like I would think about having a Nintendo, a Super Nintendo.
Hell yeah.
And I'd be like, man, this reminds me of when the cartridges stopped working and I had to blow on them and pray that they would work. And then they worked 1 out of 1,000 tries.
Right. I didn't have that experience. I actually so many people say that the like blowing into the cartridge doesn't work. Why does it work?
It does work.
Because you're just like, you're clearing up the connections. But the reason why they say not to do that is because of the moisture. Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
But everyone
so-
did it and it always worked.
Yeah.
So,
I have NES games, like the Nintendo Entertainment System, not the Super Nintendo, the one that came before that,
the NES. Yeah.
and they are still fine.
Yeah.
I could remember wanting my dad to do it because I feel like he did it better. Like he did it more manly. Like I would be like a little kid and I'd be like, and then he would just like damn near blow the fucking computer chip out. And I'd be like, oh my God, this is definitely going to work.
Just don't spit in it.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I had a Game Genie.
Game Genie.
Bro,
Loved
I feel
Game
like that destroyed the cartridges. Like when you put that thing, like when you put the game into that, it's just like, I'm like, oh shit.
I love the sensoriness of it.
But it's actually a huge thing now that people are no longer really consuming modern media. There was this article that came out not too long ago on, for example, video games. It says that in 2023, only 66 titles accounted for 80% of all playtime. And that 60% of that playtime was spent in games that are 6 years old or older.
That makes sense
Yeah,
to me.
because like no one's playing new games and no one really cares about new movies.
And why do you think that is? Do you want to say that they suck?
No. So this whole concept that like new game or like games back then were way better. You're cherry picking the very best games from each console. For every like one game that was actually good on that console, there was like 20 that sucked. You just don't remember them because you didn't play them. I mean, like for every Super Mario World, there was. I'm trying to think of some bad ones, but you can't because you didn't really play the bad ones. Like Angry Video Game Nerd has a whole career showing off all the crappy games that we don't focus on that were back then. I just think the biggest problem right now, and it's actually a huge thing with the video game industry right now. You guys ever heard of the guy Grums?
Grums.
Mm-mm. So he used to work on World of Warcraft. Like he was one of the OG I don't know about developers, but he worked on that team.
Yeah.
And he's kind of in hot water right now because he's
Blizzard. Yeah. You guys hold steady. It's rough.
He's in kind of hot water right now because he's basically been pointing out all of like why games have been going into crap lately. And it's primarily because of community managers. So their whole job is to basically tell the developers what the community is saying about their game. But because so many people are injecting their own ideologies into that, they're not telling them certain things. So like when a game comes out and everyone's like, we're really tired of all of like this of the game, like this political messaging or whatever. They're not actually telling the developers. And that's why you're seeing this huge disconnect. And there's people who are these community managers who have literal tweets saying that like, I hate all white people and stuff like that. Like it's this huge thing that's going on right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Like I can't say that I'm playing any like active. Well, I mean one, but I don't really see anything in there. Political messaging.
Well,
are we looking too deep, guys?
No, things like Spider-Man 2, with the trans flags everywhere.
Okay,
and
can I say that I played through that game and it didn't even strike me at all?
That's because you're just fine with all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like for example,
I'm saying it's not distracting.
The side mission where you play as like a deaf black girl spray painting or something like that. Like what does that have to do with Spider-Man? Things like that where it's being forced into these games.
That's them trying to maybe do, some character development for a character that's in the game.
But it's just like a small thing. Like
if it bothered you, if those flags bothered you,
microphone shield.
Oh, if those flags bothered you, it would be so annoying to see them in the game. You would be like, "Fuck!"
Right. As soon as you like start hate targeting them, then it would get annoying.
It's just not. It's not just that. Like it's all these. It's just small things.
No,
like
thank you for the example, though.
Yeah,
because I was genuinely trying to think of one.
Yeah, like anytime that they try to inject any kind of like woke ideology into the games, people are like, "Can we just get a game without this for once?" That's why Helldivers is doing so great. Because
stripped down.
It's just a great game that isn't politically charged. Like, yeah, it's political because it has politics in the game and stuff like that. And yet, even though the community manager is making fun of the right because they're like, the game's actually a satire about you guys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, well, stop making it seem so cool,
So look, see, like, they're not in the right mindset. If I was a game developer, this is the mindset you need to be in, buddy. This is what you need to be in, buddy. All right, imagine this. Imagine a kid playing a game for the first time. A child playing a game for the first time. And they're like, man, I got imagination. I could do better than this. You need to get in that mindset of the child that has unlimited workers, production, and be like, all right, now, if I was a little kid, how fun can I make this fucking game? Not, can I diss the other side of this political party? That's grown-up, boring shit.
Mm-hmm.
Think like the fucking kid, get into that energy space, and make the best shit ever that you would play all day as well. Like, everyone's going to want to play that shit because you're like, I want this to happen, and then nothing's too hard. If you can imagine it, and you're in that kid headset, I guarantee that game's taking off, man. Don't think about the political parties. That should be a afterthought after you taken care of everything. Squeeze the little party in there for fun, but it wasn't the freaking core basis of the game.
Yeah.
You know?
Let me ask you guys a question.
You're stressing out the millennials and Gen Zs.
What's your guys' favorite all-time game?
Childhood or
Just
like
favorite game of all time.
Hey, you've put the most time into this and enjoyed it the most.
Either. I mean, you could do both if you want.
If the world didn't have it, you'd be sadder.
It's funny because mine, I mean, I'm not saying it will, but like there's a chance that it could disappear for sure. Yeah. Oh, I was going to let Shield go first.
Oh.
Minecraft? Is that what it is?
No.
Okay, because Minecraft's not mine, but it's close.
It's probably GTA.
What do you mean GTA is not
Your
close?
game. Your game.
It's not.
What's your favorite game?
That's the one you picked?
That's the one I picked for you.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Really?
No.
Oh, damn. I figured that was definitely going to be it because you dumped so much time into it. Or at least I perceive that you dump a lot of time into it.
I mean, mainly I just like sandboxes in general for this main reason that I'm saying. Like, I feel like I feel like Grand Theft Auto is the most in that direction where I'm like getting the kid headset, think of everything you can think of.
Right.
No budget's too high. So they're following that path. I mean, fuck it. I can't think of anything else. I mean, I know that I actually have
just
one, but
sandbox games in general.
Sandbox style.
yeah, sandbox in general.
Okay.
Kyle?
I got to give it to Overwatch, man.
Overwatch?
Yeah.
Okay, now for the reasons why you guys like those games, does story have anything to do with it? Like a significant part?
No. Because
It's
like,
all
when I first
gameplay,
started,
right?
Yeah, when I first started playing, like the lore was pretty much non-existent. And they've built it over like a decade.
Yeah,
you know?
it's all gameplay though, right? You like it because it's fun to play.
Yeah, the mechanics are
And
fucking great.
That's the problem nowadays, is people think that people are buying games because of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as someone who focuses primarily on story-heavy games myself, those are my favorite type of games.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that the majority of people don't want a huge, intricate story. They want a really fun game.
Though. I do love that because
But
like when I like I get a hankering for a single player like dense story driven, but also with good mechanics.
Yeah,
Bro,
the gameplay has to be really
fun. It has
fun.
to be story. It has to be fun, but it also has to be story. And I feel like you'll allow the story to be a little shitty because you'll just be like the game's fun to play. But like
that's
for the most
all
part,
day for Overwatch. By the way,
Yeah, like the story isn't as important as gameplay.
it's not. But it should definitely we shouldn't have to sacrifice. I feel like we're sacrificing that because of the political.
That's
stuff.
what I'm saying, is that nowadays they're focusing too heavily on the story and not trying to make a fun game to play.
yes,
That's all. They worry more. They go into the meetings going, okay, we need this, and this in the story. We need a black main character. We need a gay lesbian.
Yeah, that's not even how
thing,
you
like
tell a
things
story.
like that.
Like you wouldn't even tell a
all
story
of those
like
things
that.
can be that
For
way.
sure.
And then you could just like tell the story.
I mean, like for example, Metal Gear Solid, the series.
It doesn't have to be planned out.
It has bi characters in it. It has black people. It has. I don't know if there's any Asian people, to be honest.
There's
I
gotta
don't
be.
know.
Yeah.
Otacon, I think, might be half.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't know, but
Right.
it doesn't matter. But
But
that's
it doesn't
not their
affect anything.
Yeah, because it's not about that.
Yeah.
Like the story isn't I'm a black woman. You know, the story is that's Fortune. You know, she can't die and she feels really bad about it because everyone she loves is dying around her,
Right,
and
yeah.
she constantly lives through all these scenarios.
That's the point.
You know what
Yeah,
makes story good? Limitations. This is what these people should do since they have all these crazy ideas. They need to make some type of system where they can generate a certain amount of characters, a certain amount of limit themselves, like some type of AI that takes all their ideas and then it's like, all right, look, we're gonna handicap you because you have too much that you're trying to work with. So
Well, we don't need AI for
you only
that.
get or a person. It's like you only get.
I think you're explaining focus.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You just need a focus.
They do, but I don't feel like they'll do it. They need something that's like robotic, that's just like
No.
chopping off some limbs.
No.
They just need a basic story. They go into the first meeting. They're like, all right, here's the basic story. We have this person, that's our main character, and this is the story, the basic story. Now,
And how
can we
add
make that
other people
fun?
Yeah. How can we add other elements to other side characters? We can pick what we want those people to represent in their own way. Doesn't have to be slapped in everyone's faces. If you want to pick up on it, you can pick up on it. And then
for example, one of my favorite series of games is and this is probably going to be very surprising to some people, is the Life is Strange series.
Life is Strange, yeah.
Super woke games.
And that's like hella story driven though.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's because that's my favorite type of game.
Yeah.
Story driven games.
But the story is
but I'm in a minority.
On point.
It's I mean, there are very like the biggest criticism of the first one was that I believe her name was Chloe, was super annoying. And I'm like, yeah, she is. It made the choice at the end a lot easier. But
Yikes.
she's as bad as your choices for a lot of it. Like a lot of these cutscenes that people show of like how bad she is, I didn't even get in my playthrough because I played it as a good person.
Right.
Like,
Did you play Until Dawn?
Yeah. Oh, I've played almost every single game that's like that style.
Yeah, it's pretty
Everyone.
good.
I loved all of them.
Yeah, Until Dawn was solid.
The only one I didn't play was Indigo Prophecy.
I didn't see that one.
It's the guy who made Heavy Rain. It was like one of his earlier projects.
Okay.
It's bananas.
You played Detroit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You played Detroit, Shield?
That's
I feel like you would have really liked Detroit.
the UK guy.
What?
The little robots.
Yeah.
Robot. What about UK?
See, I didn't. Wasn't it a little British dude?
There was a British
Wasn't
dude.
the main character a British dude that looked like me?
I don't
Well,
think
he's a
little
robot, so he's
robot.
not really British.
Yeah, he did kind of look like you, though. That's okay. You should dress up as him.
He's a
Marcus? Is that his name?
Probably.
He's
I
a
don't know.
father.
I don't know.
Wasn't the white dude his father that made him?
Well, he's not.
No, he was his owner.
Oh,
Well, that's how he
Yeah.
conceptualized it.
Yeah, that's fine. You can.
He was like, "Father, no."
Did you guys see the theory that like they weren't actually evolving? Like, because like, you know how the whole concept of the game is that they're becoming like sentient,
Right.
like self-aware.
Right.
That they weren't actually doing that. I didn't look into it too much, so I can't really explain it too well. But
They're bullshit.
I was like, I don't even know how that makes sense because that's literally the plot of the game. So
Maybe they were lying. Like maybe these robots may come off like they're alive, but they're just trying to bullshit to start chaos. Or maybe it's even the government like putting a little hack in it that's just like, hey, these things are gonna pretend to be alive, but that's impossible.
Yeah.
the game made me very uncomfortable a lot of the times.
It was
There
good.
was some stuff.
Yeah,
But I didn't play it though. I watched it on YouTube.
you're missing out, man.
Yeah, it sucks.
You need to play all of those games, like Heavy Rain.
I actually
game.
oh yeah, I can let you steal my PS4. You can play it. It's on there.
All right. The only reason I binge watched it. It's gonna tell my age.
Let's
Didn't
play.
I binge watch it in like
Oh.
high school or something? I was in high school.
Detroit Let's Play with Shield. Oh god.
I was in high school and I was just like, I don't have a console. I mean, my console can't run this game. And I was just like, well, I'm just gonna watch this guy play it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean,
Well, you know what I did? I went out and got a job and then bought one.
Ooh,
burn.
burn.
I don't know what was going on around that time.
Yeah, how dare you be in high school and not have a job?
I don't know.
Millennials
I
versus
know.
whatever gen you are.
Like I was like, I can't do both.
The next one.
I can't go to school and
That was a
have
very
a job.
millennial thing to say.
This is a Gen Z thing to say. I can't go to school and have a job. I got to drop out of school. Yeah, that game to me seemed like a game that was so story driven that I was just like,
Shout out my
It
parents.
probably-
Though, actually, that got me there to do that. So
I had a fucking 360. Like I wasn't doing shit on that. Like I was happy with that because I had Grand Theft Auto 5, but I still obviously wasn't playing it all the time because I was watching fucking Detroit. That game.
Detroit. Oh yeah, it was now. Wait,
It was in Detroit. What was it called?
Become Human.
Oh yeah. But for me, what the game looked like, it looked so story driven that I didn't even think it would be fun to play. Like I thought it was just like a point and click.
It kind of is.
Yeah, I was like, it's pretty much.
Yeah, it's an
There's like
adventure
one
game.
section that feels like Mirror's Edge.
It's an adventure game. It's the modern type of point and click adventure game.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. So I was like, man, even if I could, the graphics look amazing.
I'm not super big on that either.
Yeah.
So I understand where you're coming from, but it's actually really fun.
Yeah. So the reason why the old ones, I don't want to say suck, but they're hard to play is because sometimes they're very confusing. They're like,
Yes.
you have to go pick up this coin to use on the dog to get his bone, to get him off of his post so that you can walk past him. I was like, what does the coin have to do with the dog?
Walk to the dog and the dog barks at you and then something else happens.
Yeah, like,
also an option.
But with the modern type of games like this, I feel like they've really taken out like the puzzle elements, and I can see why people wouldn't like that because it feels like you're just playing a movie.
Yeah.
But there are choices, and I know those choices don't like really matter in the grand scheme of the game.
They do in that one.
Like certain
There's
people will
hella
die
different
and
endings.
certain people will like live and stuff like that.
Have you done like a chaos run?
No, I can't do that.
You
See,
should.
that's what makes the game fun. I feel like when you go back in and you start just doing.
So
crazy
like
shit.
play the game the first time like exactly aligned with what you would pick.
Yeah.
Then go back and specifically try to play the game with like the best intentions, now knowing what could happen to get like a flawless. And then once you get a flawless, run back and try to kill everyone.
If you want to do a game where you can kill everyone super easily, you can do Until Dawn.
Until Dawn is very
Because
easy.
I got everyone except like I think 2 or 3 people out.
Damn.
my first
I think
play.
I tried.
I didn't.
And I think I got 2.
The person I didn't get was the one that you have to like purposely let her drop off the cliff to save her.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, who's gonna purposely let her drop off the cliff? Like,
Yeah, but it does end up saving
yeah,
her.
it's like counterintuitive. Like,
well,
is there a way to get like a full like dead run?
Full dead?
Should we look it up?
I don't know. That's actually a good question.
I don't-
Also,
While you're
Detroit came out in 2018.
So
that was newer than I thought.
18,
Going back to the
17.
time. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
I was 17 years old. Boom, 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 boom. I had an afro. No, I had dreads. Bang, bang. I was just listening to Chief Keef. Back in my day, I sat down and watched. I even watched the fucking like what you're saying. I watched like them like fuck up the game.
Yeah.
Like, I was like after I finished.
While Brandon's looking that up, I don't want to like stay on the topic of games like for too long.
Just real quick to answer it. Apparently in the game, every protagonist can either die or survive. So there is a possibility to kill everyone.
Nice. Kind of on this genre of game, do you enjoy like straight puzzle games though? Have you done those?
Like, what do you mean straight puzzle games?
Like literally the game is based around puzzles?
No colors, and it's just puzzles.
Like, well, it
There's no
depends
colors.
on what you
There's
mean.
no color palette.
Like,
No,
like,
like-
are you talking about like Tetris?
No.
Or-
no, like
Straight
puzzle
video-
puzzles.
Straight puzzle game.
I don't really know how to describe it.
Just all
I'm
puzzle.
sorry, I'm sneezing.
It's completely puzzle. Like there's no other part of the game. It's just puzzle. Finish this puzzle.
So like no story, just puzzle.
Well,
Maybe there's a
they can be
story.
like loose story.
yeah.
Like Professor Layton, for example.
Sure, that sounds like up the alley of what I'm thinking
Well,
about.
like the DS games, Professor Layton.
Oh, I don't know about that. Is that like a detective thing?
Kind of like you.
Okay, anyway, I'll explain. I was playing this set of actually they were mobile game ports that they put on the Switch, and they are super fun, but it's like straight puzzles. Like you get this thing in front of you and you can view it from multiple angles, and you actually have to like turn dials and like think Rubik's Cube on crack, or some of those like videos where people are like doing the elaborate like unlocking boxes and stuff. Like it's
So
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
no,
No, just untouched.
like Spider-Man is like kindergarten version of this.
So like
Okay.
kind of like the Witness,
puzzles.
just without the walking around part. Is just all the
Spider-Man.
puzzles.
yeah, there's no walking.
Okay.
I hate the Spider-Man puzzles. That shit's annoying, man.
I-
If I come on.
I don't know. I really like puzzles. I'm just not very good at them. Like anytime I come across like a puzzle in, for example, a Resident Evil game, like Resident Evil 4, that one, you know that slide puzzle where it's like 3x3 and one piece is missing, and you have to slide them to try to complete the picture.
Yes.
I don't know how to complete those. My brain just like short circuits. I go
my
dead.
brain just wants to run through an area and kill things. Like it's not necessarily stopping to like arrange patterns. It'll notice the patterns and forget them instantly. It'll also notice numbers and forget them instantly. But
the one I was referring to is called The Room. And then they made another one. Ash and I played through them, and they were super fun.
The movie would come up. Video game. The Room. Okay. Oh, I think I've seen that. I've never played it.
If you like the, I mean, it's not super story driven, but it does have like an overarching story. It has to do with like time and stuff like that. Super fun.
Yeah, whenever I've gotten into a puzzle game that I really enjoyed, it's always been a great time. But there's very few in between for me. I want to say that whenever I encounter a puzzle in a blockbuster game, I'm like, man.
Let's talk about old people in the UK.
Okay.
Get out of my bloody house.
So
just a drastic topic swap, you know.
I was thinking about swapping to like the phone one because it's kind of adjacent.
We
but
can do that.
Yeah.
We can go back to some techie thing later.
Okay. Yeah. So in the UK right now, as a lot of you probably know or don't know if you only watch the news.
Yes.
There is a huge migrant problem, not just in the United States, but everywhere. It is a huge problem in some of these places, turning like previously safe places into, like, for example, the rape capital of the world, like Sweden now.
That sucks because isn't Denmark the safest place to be?
Well, it used to be, but that's also a different place.
It's right across.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's the safest country.
I don't know if I would say
Sweden.
safest.
It's literally you can fall asleep. It was for the longest. You could fall asleep in the road and somebody put a blanket on you.
So, because more and more migrants are coming to these countries, and for some reason the government doesn't care about its own citizens, the UK now are planning on basically kicking people out of their homes to allow the migrants to live there. There's even instances of them asking old people to move out of their house and like quoting, you don't need a house that big, essentially, which is just messed up.
Why? Because I'm old. I need more exercise than anyone. I just imagine this is happening because they don't have a lot of guns. You guys should have just loaded up on guns when we did.
So I had a bunch of like videos and stuff planned, but it was all on X. So, and because I don't remember my login information,
I'm not really seeing them like putting anything up about like this happening to a lot of people, but there is like seems to be one specific story about an elderly couple.
Yeah, the elderly couple one, but like it's one, even if it's just one, it means that they are doing it.
Yeah. So it just says that
it was let's see, what is GBN?
Josie and Ted Saunders stated that the council would force them to sell their home to house asylum seekers. The letter called the couple's home derelict and empty. Josie, 76, said that they were horrified. So,
I was just horrified when I got the message. I couldn't believe it. I was just sitting right there on the couch.
Essentially, they were saying, we need to buy you out of your home because you're not taking care of it because you're old and it's too big and you can't do it.
Why don't they just hook him up with like Carlos or something so he can like fix up the
200,000 euro was what they offered them.
Oh, here's a video. I don't know if it's the same video. Let me see. Is this? Oh,
so
it's
what? I'm supposed to just leave my home?
Oh, jeez. Let me see. Okay.
Where are we going to put these people? The uncomfortable truth, as far as I can see it, is that we are going to have tent cities of asylum seekers popping up around the UK.
Well, I think you summed it up beautifully, Patrick, just the huge pressure that we're seeing now in accommodation, and that does seem to be the only answer. But I'm actually a little bit more worried than that, because I think this is all getting very sinister now. We know that we've had people who have been told that their properties are going to be compulsory purchased for asylum seekers. That pretty much tears up private property rights in this country. I was listening to the radio on the way here, and they were talking about a massive problem facing Britain, which was older people living in houses that were, quote, too big for them. Who's got a right to tell you your house is too big for you? You should be allowed to live where you darn well like. And the implication was very clear. These elderly people are taking houses that they shouldn't have. And I fear that's a worry, that there'll be some kind of move to get them out of those houses. We've also had the horrible scenario last week when Matthew Paris, writing in the Times, talked about how euthanasia wouldn't be a bad thing if it encouraged elderly people to hasten their own deaths. So what? We've got to pop our clogs, have we, forcibly, when we're 60, 70, 80, 90, perhaps earlier, if we're not productive people in society, as Matthew Paris said it. So I think the whole thing now is getting really, really sinister and scary.
And people might think that that's like, oh, come on, they're just doing what ifs. I don't
think it's a what if.
MAID, like the government assistance in dying thing in Canada, is a significant portion of their yearly deaths.
They got it made.
Like it's not zero. It's like a single digit percentage, I think, of their deaths each year.
Would you say they had it made? Okay, I'm sorry.
What?
I'm trying to lighten it. I was like,
well, you know what MAID stands for, right? Medical assistance in dying.
Yeah. What is this term that
they made it very clear?
Yeah. No. So in Canada, sentiment. They're talking about now allowing autistic people to be considered in Canada for MAID. But before, it was supposedly just like people who have chronic illnesses that are going to die anyway. And it's gotten to the point where they're talking about allowing just anybody to do it at any time, to the point where doctors were actually suggesting MAID as a solution to a lot of people's problems just first.
Have you ever thought about killing yourself?
Yeah, and that's why I brought that up, because when you hear her say, he suggests that old people should just off themselves to make room for these migrants. Like, and people are like, oh, you're being crazy. It's like, it's not that far of a jump from where we are right now. Like, it's really not.
So I think that look, we're approaching towards AI, right? I'm gonna always bring it back to AI, guys. Come on.
It's Shield's favorite thing.
So I don't see the connection.
We're approaching AI.
Let's let him explain.
Yeah.
The entropy of approaching AI will affect our biological, social, and economical interactions very significantly. It already has, just with us communicating. As we approach sentient godlike technology, the borders between our natural reality that we understand as normal is going to start to blur and haze until everything is normal. Snoopy walking around, sitting on top of his house in broad daylight's going to be just something that happens. Reality can never be the same. Think about when GPT came out. That was the last normal day. You cannot think that days will be normal now. Everything's going to just get weirder and weirder and weirder until you can fly. And if you look at time like that, people being ripped out of their houses and offered treatments of death by doctors makes sense. It just all makes sense now. And then now,
it only makes sense in a numbers game.
What do you mean by that?
Like blind, not in a world where there are no rights. And you are just trying to sustain a number for convenience.
Yeah. There's a reason
putting priority over, like, into the field of efficiency and productivity over rights.
I don't think there'll be no rights. I think no. This is what I think. I think that nothing's gonna go away. Everything we have now,
the right to stay in your house is gonna go away.
Like, we'll have rights. They just won't be what we see as rights. There may be places you can go, But I don't think we're gonna lose anything as humanity.
Only if you're valuable.
We're just like we have to gain everything. So
Some
it's gonna
people
be
will have more rights than others.
Mm-hmm.
That's showing right here.
exactly. But nothing. If you ever see an article about something going away, nothing's ever gonna go away. We're just gonna keep adding, and some of this stuff is so ridiculous.
They're literally saying people should go away.
Yeah,
They can't really,
sooner.
They can't do that, but a large amount of people might go away.
No, they can do that.
No, they can, but not all people. I mean, you just don't have.
Well, no, not the valuable ones.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be able to. I feel like they'll be able to ration down a couple. But I don't.
100,000.
I don't. Yeah, like numbers like that. But we're working in the nines, in the billions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to hit that whole 9.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
They're gonna
it's a
hit
numbers
enough.
game. It's a numbers game. You're not looking at it with rights and compassion and logic and human. You're looking at it as numbers shield.
But everything's going to exist. So the counterbalance to stop them is going to create itself if it hasn't already.
Are you referring to digital consciousness?
Digital consciousness, God, maybe even, I mean, everything. So superheroes, fucking everything. Everything's going to be real, guys.
And this has been a segment with Shield Maze.
Everything's going to be real because
It won't. None of it will be.
yeah, there'll become a time where everything's so real, the Big Bang might happen. Because just everything's here, and it's just like, the universe is like, oh my, it's convulsing, and it's contracting, and it just gives birth to just a whole new dimension. And this crazy dimension might still be going on in the background, but we'll probably, the next one will be a baby. It'll be a baby dimension, and there'll be another Earth. Now, look, all this can be mitigated. See, this is what's going to happen. But all this can be mitigated if God is real, because he's going to have to stop this eventually. He's going to have to be, oh, okay. And then he pulls up.
Well, that would.
Why would he stop it?
I don't know if that's. I mean,
what we do here on Earth is he's not going to stop it.
Look, he's not going to
in the
stop.
past.
He's not going to stop it, but this is what it is. This may very
Okay,
well.
he did in the past before the choice was there.
Yeah, but
right?
like it's been.
He's not going to necessarily stop it, but like this can all be a warning sign of when he's going to actually arrive. Because you can't get to the point where Clifford the Big Red Dog is real. I mean, you could probably live a couple weeks in that reality. But at a certain point, we have free will. We could literally create anything. We're creating the image of God. So I wouldn't be surprised if Clifford was walking around. And I think maybe we have a
Clifford has
week.
created the image of God.
We might have a week before God's like, and he's not going to stop it because he didn't know it was going to happen. He knows it's going to happen. So I just don't know. I can't speak on his behalf of when he's going to actually step in.
Free will.
But I can tell you that that's how
will.
crazy it could get. Genetic engineering. Someone's going to turn themselves into the Hulk. There's going to be a lot of shit happening. And we're just heading there.
And the tip of the iceberg is UK residents getting kicked out of their homes for
Well,
immigrants.
yeah,
Just
because
wanna
it's
let you
like
know.
we're in the like, oh, that's mess. Like it's still something we can understand. It's gonna get to the point where we can't even understand it anymore. It's not. It's just gonna hurt our heads. We're just gonna have no time for it. I think a lot of people are already there. So once they clock out, they're not gonna see Clifford on TV.
I'm gonna say this. I think this is the first publicly like mediatized signs of overpopulation.
We're
In a
definitely
way.
not overpopulated though.
I don't think we're overpopulated.
Okay. I shouldn't say overpopulated, but I should say overpopulated for the economy, price structure, and our living establishments, the way we look at them.
We're overpopulated for corruption.
Bro, they're just building apartment complexes to hold the ants, bro.
But like
they're holding the ants.
If you notice, they're not talking about doing this for UK citizens. It's for migrants.
Yeah. No, I understand that. And why? Why are they migrating there?
Because we have a better countries than they do.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but they're also migrating there because they were told
like that's
to.
what I'm saying. Like based on the current what we consider to be livable, habitable, nice living situations. Not everyone can have that right now. That's not an option.
yeah.
It's not.
They're being told to migrate. I feel like everyone should have that. Everyone will have that, hopefully. We just have to control the technology we have. We have a lot of blessings. We can help all these 9 billion people, and we don't even have to do that much. It's not that we have to give them all houses. It's that we have to give them all equal opportunity, not equal outcome.
There's no such thing as giving all of those people equal opportunity.
I feel like if you can have the opportunity to seek asylum, though it may take a long time, and you also have the opportunity to, once you get into the country, to pursue education or whatever it is you want to pursue, that's good enough. At that point, man, that's cool, dude.
You do know that like none of the people coming here are actually seeking asylum.
Yeah, because they're being told, like everyone's being thrust, like the countries are basically, they're being destabilized purposely by influx of people to like shock the system and just bring it all down.
Well,
and then somebody can point a finger and say, hey, look, that democracy doesn't work.
That's not what I was talking about. I was talking about that the rules of asylum. First off, you have to be fearful of your life based on religion, political, or different reasons. Second, you're supposed to go to the first non-war parent country, and the United States has only 2 ways to get to it, through 2 non-war bearing countries. So
technically,
realistically,
four.
They should be asyluming in Mexico.
Yeah, but
not the United States.
Well, it depends what you consider to be closest, right?
No, because they would have to pass through Mexico to get to the United States.
Not if they come in a plane.
They're still coming in illegally. And the majority is going through Mexico.
Yeah, Biden actually, they just got caught flying in over 300-something thousand illegals into America last year.
See, the thing is, it's just to shock the system, to say it doesn't work, to shock the system, and then hope that everyone forgets that they are the one that shocked it, and then say, hey, it just didn't work. We're just going to try something different, guys.
Well, there's 2 main theories on why they're bringing in so many illegals. The first one
Can
and the
we
most
use the word immigrant.
No,
why?
Because they're illegal. They're not supposed to be here.
Yeah,
they're illegally here.
Immigrant means
they are illegal.
That you don't have any information from the president. And you're just going.
There's legal immigrants.
Well, yeah, there are, but
and these people are illegal immigrants.
Yeah, until they become legal.
Yeah, but they're not though.
You know another thing though. They're making the process take longer.
They shouldn't.
Because this is what they're gonna.
Because none of these people should be allowed into the country in the first place.
And that may be true because
the
there's so
process
many.
is terrible, Brandon.
Yeah, that's
terrible.
That's a good thing.
But
we should be selective on who we're letting into our country.
See, they're not helping them by letting them in because they still have to go through that process regardless because they'll always be illegal. And I'm thinking like they're going to if they don't flood the country and overwhelm the system and change us from a democracy to something else, and someone actually steps in and actually gets rid of the illegal immigrants, now they got to go through the whole process of going back to being sent back to their country, and then they're gonna have to come back. And how long is it gonna take for them to be sent back? They're literally now you're gonna spend most of your life going back to your country and then going through the same process that you would have went through anyway. Like literally, that's
they should just not have been allowed in the first place.
And also, they were never safe coming in because no one had any parameters of how they would get in safely. So basically, these people were assaulted. Their money has been taken and they hadn't received anything. So it's overall they're getting screwed majorly just so people can argue about and trick their other teams, their other political parties into doing things that they don't believe in.
So like I was saying, the 2 main reasons why they could be bringing in so many people. The main one and probably the most likely one is that they just want the numbers because they're either going to allow them to start voting or if they can't get that to work, they still get counted towards the census, which gives electoral votes and the amount of senators and stuff like that. So you increase the amount of people in like California to a bunch more than should be there. Then all of a sudden they have way more electoral votes. They have way more senators. They have way more power than they should. The second reason is they want to cause all this disruption and stuff like that so they can go into martial law to basically try to get rid of the Constitution.
Yeah, and just be like, hey, look, guys, the Constitution didn't work. Actually, the Constitution and actually all the rights we have is actually very beautiful, and it's very shocking that it's so old. And
it's shocking that it's so old and still applicable, I think.
It's old. It's so old, and it's still applicable, and it still makes sense, and no one ever adds anything better to it, or if they do, they're always stopped.
Well, there's been amendments.
Oh, there's been a lot of amendments and good ones.
Good ones, but
like the bill of like the whole First Amendment, Second Amendment, like those are really, really good ones.
Yeah, but in recent times, I mean, if you wanted to add something to stop, like, for instance, the migration problem.
Shield, if there wasn't amendments, we wouldn't be here in the same room with you.
I agree.
I mean, we might have. You just might have been doing something different.
Yeah.
Let's say
you'd be hitting this button instead of me.
I totally agree. But we're not adding anything nowadays. We're not adding anything recently. And if we are, we're kind of trying to destroy it.
Yeah, when was the last amendment? That's actually a good point.
You can tell by how the other countries envy us. Other countries that are very good countries and are beautiful still look at America as what it is, America. It's always been America as far as, like, that thing to look at as long as it's been around. So that's kind of cool. When I'm watching an old movie and they're like, I want to go to America. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's fucking cool here, dude. Even though it's like back in the day and shit, I'm like, it's not that cool back then, but whatever. It's cool to you, dude.
It was the 27th Amendment in 1992. It has to do with the salary of Congress members.
Oh, of course. And then they stay there for a billion years.
I don't know. Probably.
They've definitely raised it since then. I feel like that's the one to be like, just look at this time we raised it, guys. We didn't raise how long we're staying in Senate or whatever the fuck. Look, man, I'm a layman and I understand this shit, so this means that this bitch is about to fucking crash. If the layman understands, then it's already happening, dude. It's over, dude. Like I still don't really understand the political parties, dude. I'm still learning.
I still think that, like, this example right here, right now, shows what kind of opportunity there is in affordable housing construction. Like that whole industry, if they can figure out, like,
but
the best possible bang for buck affordable housing, I think that would solve a lot.
It would, but aren't
problems.
motherfuckers just buying up land and just saying, no, we're gonna do something else here?
Yeah, BlackRock and Vanguard.
Yeah, so they don't even, bro. We have everything we need to, like, make this motherfucker. I mean, I talk about utopia, but, like, we could get close. I mean, we could get to, like, where, like, you could come to the country, go through a long process, then go to school, then whatever, and, like, you're not guaranteed a house, but you're guaranteed a fucking you're guaranteed a spot in the line. Like, you're
well, no, I don't think we should we shouldn't be giving anybody a home. But I think that we should offer the opportunity for someone that's not, like,
that's not here
financially as stable, the opportunity to be in something livable.
Yeah.
But you know what? The problem is there's this big shitty element called a lot of humans suck.
That's true, but I don't think that's caused by the overpopulation. I think that's caused by fucking the corruption, bro.
No, it's caused by humans being lazy, my boy.
Yeah.
Like, you could make large areas with affordable housing. Hello. Okay, we're going down that rabbit hole. You could make large areas with tons of affordable housing. You know what we call those in 10 years?
Ghettos.
Yep.
And that's what all ghettos started out as, is affordable housing.
Well,
it's just the unfortunate outcome every single time.
But ghettos aren't necessarily...
You can't take, like, the human drive variable out, because, like, those places will turn into slums because, again, people that are not as financially stable tend to be depressed.
But this is what I look at. I look at the ghetto
shortcuts
situation
to try to gain financial
that's
stabilization.
true. I feel like that could
and
happen.
Then they don't, and it turns into a fucking mess.
That's happening.
And it's destroyed, and all that money that was spent for them goes into the fucking gutter.
But this is what I also. That's a factor.
Yep.
But people suck across the whole board. So there's definitely people that are going into that low income housing area, doing what the fuck they need to do and getting out like easily. And that's what their mission was. And there's also motherfuckers.
There are people that do that. That's why you have the story of like, I got out.
Yeah. And then you also have the motherfuckers that is like, no, I'm just gonna juice it. And then you also have the motherfuckers that are
People
like,
that'll just sit in the situation.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I got it.
and then you also have motherfuckers, which juicing whatever, as long as you're not fucking with anybody. But like, you also have motherfuckers that are like, let's make them worse off. Like, there's motherfuckers that actually target those low income areas for whatever reason, and that's not helping. Like, they definitely have like they have motherfuckers from the outside coming in and like swarming around those low income areas and turning them into slums purposely. So that's still a thing. Like, the corruption can contribute to making that slum up a little faster.
Yeah. It's not
With-
good.
But it's just the problem is that the type of people who get affordable housing, a lot of them are going to bring those ways to that area. Now, there's a lot of good people who get affordable housing and get out of it, and the success stories and stuff like that.
Or even like people that are in affordable housing because it's affordable and they take care of it and are okay with, like taking care of the things that they have, even if it isn't overly extravagant. That's good. You have, like, I mean, a good example would just be like, okay, like a single parent that has multiple kids that really just needs a decent place to stay that's affordable, and they're, decent human beings that try to work and try to keep their establishment as nice as they can. And then they're brought down by people that abuse it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's really shitty.
It really
See,
sucks.
because affordable housing would only be one column of the solution. Also, secondly, we would have to think about the kids, which is something very solemnly we do nowadays. But the schools. So the affordable housing and the schools, that has to be so that's two things that definitely need to happen
at the same time. Yeah.
What do you mean schools though? Like school
Good
choice?
schools, like
Good, yeah.
Well, schools get plenty of money. There's a money distribution
the money
problem.
thing
Yes, there is. Yes.
Yeah, the money is fine. The schools need to be good. Like, we got the money, so the affordable housing, the schools, and then the jobs, obviously, for the parents.
The teachers need to be supported.
Well, see, you know that, like, for example, in these I don't know the term for it, like the mid city ones, like the predominantly
Inner
like
city.
like inner city schools, they actually spend more on their school per student than
Yes.
any other schools, but they just do worse, and it's
So
not a
money's
money
the-
problem.
yeah, money's not
It's a faculty and pay thing.
Yeah,
Like, we need more, and they need to be paid
and we need to
more.
bring back beating children.
Yeah, and then also, that, like, so we know that money's not the problem. So these places really shouldn't be slums. There's actually people that, like, the whole homeless crisis, they don't want to fix that problem. If they fix the problem, then they don't have any homeless people, then they're useless. Like, there's a lot of people that there's a lot of organizations that are helping, but they can't help too much.
Mm-hmm.
But the money's not the issue. So,
It's never the money.
and then we'll say it's an overpopulation thing, but it's really not, because the more people you have, the more successful you would actually be, because those are more they did some type of study. They were like, for every child that's born, that's like a net benefit to the country or to the state,
Just
because of
only
the
if there's-
potential.
only if there's opportunities for
Only
them.
if they're
So-
being utilized. You squander that person, then of course it's going to make the situation worse. It may even make it way worse, because this person
It will.
They're going to realize how much potential they had. Like, if you don't use the potential, it's going to turn into the opposite of what it would have been.
Yeah,
So
instead of someone pulling the rope, it's someone being a sandbag. I know that's very bad imagery, but that is
No,
exactly
it's
how
completely
it is.
accurate. Yeah,
So
but
my
I just
point-
want to say that on the population thing, we are not overpopulated. Anyone who tells you that we're overpopulated doesn't know what they're talking about. We're actually in a really bad trouble in that aspect.
We're under.
To sustain a society, you need a birth rate of 2.1%, or not 2.1, 2.1. So for every one person, so for every family, like for a two-person family, mother, father, you need 2.1 children to sustain the society. Because if you think about it logically, if every family only had one child, that halves the population for the next generation.
Yes.
So we're actually, I think we're at like a 1.9 or like somewhere around there. We're not nearly as bad as like, let's say Japan, which is probably going to disappear in like 100 years. Because they're like a 1.4 or something. Like they're really low. We're definitely not overpopulated.
But I think
that's all
I think that it's like one thing leading to another though. So like when I said overpopulated, I was saying overpopulated based on equal financial opportunities, overpopulated in a sense of comfortable living situations in a place with a lot of opportunity. That's the problem. So the reason that their birth rate is low, or I could see a factor in their birth rate being low, is inflation, not having enough money to sustain more children, not having a place that has the space to facilitate more humans, all of those things. So it's a catch-22.
Well, it's a really simple fix though. Like it obviously
Children
there's
camps.
more. No, there's
Okay.
I mean, other than that, there's a there's a lot more like not like difficult like aspects to it. But the basis is very simple. We need to bring back. We need to decentivize single parent households. Because it's way too incentivized in our culture now. It actually rewards and encourages you to be a single parent in a household.
About that.
And then
as far as like tax breaks and things like that.
all of that. Once we get rid of that, that's going to solve like a lot of problems.
There's
It's going to cause a lot of problems to solve them. Which is touchy, right?
Yeah. But the fact is, people aren't staying together because it's actually easier for them to do it, like cheaper, or for them to split up after having a child
Through government funding.
Because like the mother's now going to get a bunch of like funding and taxes and stuff like that.
What's the place that they raised their birth rate? I think it's like Lithuania or something. They raised their birth rate by incentivizing 2-parent households.
I don't know about that one, but there is another country that started paying people for every child that they had. I think it was China, to be honest.
We kind of do that.
Yeah.
It wasn't that because they were doing some type of tax break. Like basically, if a mother had a child, she doesn't pay taxes, I guess. So
what we need to do is decentivize like divorce and single parent households. Then we need to start drug testing if you're on any kind of support from the government. If you pass the drug test, then you can, because there's too many people who abuse that way too hardcore, and it's screwing it up for the people who actually need help. There was a third thing, can't really remember right now, but the first two things should solve a ton of problems. Now, will it be hard for a lot of people in the transition? Sure. But for example, you know what community would get super helped out by the whole decentivizing single parenthood? The Black community. Yay. Because do you know that they were actually richer and more better off during the Jim Crow era than they are now?
They wore suits.
Also,
like it's crazy.
I was listening to NPR, and there was like a huge, and like these spikes are like, as far as like the pool that they get it from, there's like a option for the numbers to swing like really radically, but like the Black community's unemployment rate recently, I think it was either they base it on like a real problem after 3 months of a trend or 6 months of a trend. And it's like way outweighed right now, versus like other like
it's worse.
It's really bad.
Yeah. It's because
like 6%.
That's what happens when you have all these like incentives to like help push them in a direction that they don't want to need to be. We need to fix the family home first, and then we need to get rid of things like affirmative action and all of this racist crap, like
the most important
scholarships for specific races.
We're talking about all these, like, we're giving all these scholarships and stuff. The most important thing is the family. Family should get scholarships. Family should be mentioned in commercials. Family should be holidays that they set up. Like they're targeting the wrong thing. Those families will give birth to trans people. That's all the celebration that you need. not a main focus. Like,
wait, what? Please restate that sentence.
You don't think, like, look, if we did all those things, we focused on family and stuff, there's still gonna be trans people.
Okay, what does that have to do?
I'm so confused right now.
What you're saying instead of, because aren't these scholarships going to trans people? Aren't these?
No, it's not like. Yeah, I'm sure there probably are some. No, so what it is
saying individualized
people of like Black, Hispanic ethnicity.
You do understand that a lot of those like scholarships and stuff like that are funded by private organizations.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
No, yeah, but like what they're doing is they're passing them through school when they're actually failing. And then they're using these programs to help them get into college courses they have no business to being in. And this is for every race. It's not just Black people. And then the dropout rate is tremendous because they get to a place doing things that they are not equipped for, and then they drop out and they feel like failures. When we could have been building them up when they were a child, finding out what they're good at, and then helping them go towards that.
Well, I equate that to the migrant thing. We're sending them all the way here just for them to go all the way back and still they dealt with what they dealt with on their way here. Just for them to have to take all that time. We're wasting people's time. And we have enough money to do all this shit. We have enough money to let as many people need to be in that want to be in. We have enough money to do that through our regular processes. It's
not about whether we have the ability to pay for all of these people. It's that we shouldn't just be letting people in without background checks and we're letting in terrorists.
Like whatever.
Like there's been a couple terrorists who were found coming through our border recently. Like
that's what I'm saying.
It's a problem.
I'm saying that we have enough money to run the programs that allow people to come in legally.
Yeah, but we should be way more selective. We people like to crap on our migration like things and stuff like that. But like we're one of the more lax countries in the world compared to everyone. Like all of these countries, they like to shit on our country because they're like, oh, look at this. Like for example, like abortion. Like, can you believe it? They're they're doing abortions like they're cutting it off after like 16 in some countries. It's like, yeah, most like European countries are like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Like they're way more hardcore on like almost every single thing. And then they say that like we suck because we're not just giving everyone everything. It's so crazy to me.
So I think look, money's never a problem. Money's not even real. We make it up.
No.
We print the shit.
No. It needs a real backing.
Yeah, but we don't use a real backing.
Well, yeah, not anymore because
we haven't used the real backing in a long time.
Yeah, but we can't just make more. That's how inflation is created.
Doing it. Look, if we're gonna do all these bad things, let's do one bad thing. Let's keep printing the money, and let's set up these programs that are actually used to help people and fund those with the money we're printing. Right. And then maybe at some point when we help, when we're more stable, then we can find something to back our money with.
All right, Shield. When you print more money, that causes inflation.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. We might as well print our money and do the right thing versus print our money and do what we're doing now.
Let me give you an example. Say I gave you like one apple, right? And there's only one apple in the world. That's way more valuable than say if there was 1 million apples.
I know.
And that's the same thing with money. If you have a certain amount of money, a small pool of money, it is way more valuable than if you just start printing it. If you just keep printing the money, it's going to devalue the dollar and it'll crash our economy.
So we're currently doing that now.
Yes, and that is why we have such bad inflation.
We're also flooding in the country. We're also not paying attention to the schools. We're also letting the low-income housing areas fall apart. Mm-hmm. Why don't we just, since, like, if you're addicted to something, you shouldn't stop cold turkey. You should stop gradually and progressively into a direction where you can see like a good outcome. Let's keep printing the money. That'd be the only bad thing we do because we're not stopping.
But we don't need to print the money. That's the problem. That's causing a lot of the problems that we're experiencing right now.
We don't need to, but we're still doing it, and we're doing all the other bad shit on top of it. I'm just saying, imagine a world where we're weaning ourselves off of all this corruption, but we're still printing the money to fix all the fucked up shit that we fucked up. And then when we fix that shit,
it won't fix it. It just makes it worse. Like for example, buying a thing of eggs right now is really, really expensive because of inflation. If you just keep printing money to try to fix all these problems, it just makes everything rise again. It won't fix anything. It'll make it worse.
I would say that the fact that we're doing all this fucked up shit and we don't care, we're printing the money at whims anyway. We're printing it at whimsical times. We're just like,
and that's causing the problem.
Let's actually, since we have this giant machine and no one cares that we're fucking printing money all day, let's hurry up and use it for the right thing.
No one is like not caring that it's actually a huge problem that people talk about all the time. It's these people in power who don't know what they're doing, who are in over their heads, and so they're just like, well, if things are more expensive, we'll just print more money and then people will have more money, right? And it's like, but then everything will go up $10.
Okay,
and it's
so
like, well, then we'll just print more money.
Another problem is like obviously the distribution of the said money.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't distribute it. We wouldn't distribute it.
No. I'm not saying like not giving it to people. I'm saying that there are problems with people that have too much of it, bro.
Yeah, there's enough money in the United States.
There are a bunch of puddles.
I understand that, but I don't know what to do about that because that's other people.
Definitely not print more. That's literally the only option that's bad.
There's nothing against anybody that has financial and crazy amounts of wealth because we live in, it's capitalist. Mm-hmm. Do good stuff, get good stuff. That's the foundation.
I don't think we can stop.
But it is inherently an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I know how bad it is.
There is an issue to it.
I know how bad it is. That's why I'm saying the answer isn't stop because we can't, obviously. We have a problem.
No, we definitely
have
could
like
stop.
An addiction.
We could stop.
If we stopped, it would fuck up more shit than anything.
Mm. No, it literally wouldn't. It's printing money, like printing more money than what you're supposed to based on like the natural progression of the economy and all that stuff has always caused problems every single time.
It causes problems. It's stolen money.
I'm going to say what the real problem is, or I'll give you a great example of a problem. So spending is a huge factor in economic wealth or stability, right? So like the way the consumer spends their money is very, very important. So when they raise and lower prices on things, there's another factor to that as well, which has to do with limiting consumer. So in a world where there's Amazon, in a world where there's Wish and Temu and all this shit, right? The consumer is consuming too much. So when you're spending and giving that money to, say, this cup is Walmart, right? And this is us. And this is our money. If we are giving them this more than we're gaining, okay, I hit a button.
Oops.
Wait.
I think you. What was that? I think we're still on you.
Okay, I accidentally hit the stop recording button. Hilarious.
Okay.
Anyway, so if you're spending more than your community is gathering and you're giving it to one specific place, right? And they're gaining more money than they're spending, that means that it's pooling up here. Right? And what does that do? If you pour water in a bucket faster than the bucket is releasing water back into the ground gets dry.
So, just like them flooding the country with the immigrants, right? You're destabilizing the natural balance of
the economy.
To me, that's no different than the printing of the money. It's the same exact thing.
Your solution of keep doing this bad thing that's ruining the economy to try to fix everything, it won't fix it, though.
It's not ideal, but I'm just like, look, we can't, we don't expect. We'll keep talking. There'll be people that are keep fighting against all this corruption and stuff. But we really, when we say these things, we really don't expect the government just to listen and be like, oh, okay, we'll just stop. We don't ever expect that, even if they said they would. So the thing is, like, if we could stop everything and keep one thing, that's what I'm saying.
But that's not how reality works, though. You can't just keep doing this bad thing because it plays a part into the other bad things. You can't fix anything by keeping the main component. It's like saying, say you have like a shelf with one pillar supporting it, and the pillar is cracked, and you're like, well. And you can't put too much stuff on the shelf because it'll break the pillar or whatever. It's like, well, we don't need to fix the pillar. We could just crack it some more and put more stuff on the shelf, and that should fix everything.
You're
now, yeah. Technically,
you're familiar with the with like the balloon theory, right?
Balloon,
like economic balloon theory.
I think I might have heard about
this
it.
This is a great way to sum it up for you, Shield. Balloons, right? So that is pretty much when too much of a group of people's money is being put into too few assets.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, like think about whenever we had we could talk about like mom and pop shops, right? So that is your money being distributed to a ton of families, which you could consider those assets, right? They're businesses. So when you spread out that money to a bunch of different assets, then those assets are spreading money out to other assets to acquire that service that you're initially paying for. It's like a chain reaction, right? So the money is very spread out and even because those people are giving to other people for their services. Those go back over here this way, that way. So when you have these singular assets, like the big box corporations, stuff of that nature, that is too much of a people's money going to one place, which causes a balloon.
Yeah, and it bust. Yeah, I understand.
It can like you say bust, but really what that does is as the money goes into these singular assets, what happens is the other needs that we require don't get as much money, which forces those fundamentals to appreciate excessively until it's unsustainable.
Like, okay, so the first thing, like, if I was president, the first thing I would do is, like, it would be really hard, and I would go in there and I would say, hey, we're just going to back this fucking money by gold now. So however long it takes for us to catch up, we're not going to be printing into this amount of time unless we get more gold. Or we get more assets or more oil or whatever, but it's being backed by gold. That makes so much sense. That's the way it should be. I feel like whoever changed that was thinking not in the best interest of the future.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, if us three just went into the government right now, we didn't raid it, we were invited, and they were like, we like your podcast, we like everything you're saying, we feel like you guys can fix some shit. Anything, you guys are in full control. I would be like, I know it's bad to print the money, but you guys used all this fucking money to do all the fucked up shit. We need some money to do the good shit that we're gonna do, so we're gonna print for a little bit more.
Or you don't.
Yeah,
and
you just don't.
Instead of printing, you do what other government organizations do. They hold events. They get donors.
We can do that. I'm just
donors.
That makes sense, and that will make it.
And that's why they have these focal points of view, right? That's the difference between like right, left. They are looking at the end of the day, support, and that support gives them money, and that money is to do things in the focus of what they want to do, which is good. Because there are great things on both sides that need funding. There's great things on both sides that need to change and are more aligned with each party's,
so would you say
focals. It's good.
The best thing to do.
It's got to change hands, though. It does.
It has to change hands. Motherfuckers can't be sitting in Congress for their entire lifetime. But
term limits, yes.
But so I guess what you're saying is the best thing to do is just to throw,
maids.
Just throw the gold back in as the standard, and then just have it raised. I'm just thinking like, I just think our problems can be fixed so fast that I'm like, what's a little bit more?
I don't necessarily.
No,
think
it definitely
that
can't
gold
be
standard.
It can't be. That's
no. It's such a chain.
No,
bro.
like it can't be fixed.
There's a chain of problems.
Easily.
No, it could be fixed so fast if we just had the unlimited money we're using now.
Shield says
Yeah.
it could be fixed so fast if we just asked AI to do it.
If we just ask AI, print another 8 billion. Like literally, like if we like, I'm just saying it could be fast with the tools we use now. If we go in there and fully like try to actually start everything from the ground up how it should be, I feel like that's gonna fuck up the system a little bit. But bro, we're gonna keep printing. I mean, when are we gonna stop? I know it's a problem.
Should have been yesterday.
When are we gonna stop? We should have stopped yesterday.
Yeah.
But if a motherfucker came in there and said, "Hey, I'm actually gonna like fix everything," but we're gonna keep printing, everybody would be like, "All right, fine."
Okay, but that's the equivalent of you just started a chemical fire on this table, and I go, guys, don't worry, I'm gonna fix everything, and I go grab a cup of water, and I try to put it out with some water. That's the same thing.
Okay,
it's not
yeah.
gonna work. It's gonna make things worse.
Well, no. What Shield's saying is to literally dump more flammable
Yeah, dump more
chemicals
flame on
it.
Dump more flame on it because look, if a person came up and they were on TV and they said, "Look, this
Put
is
it out with gas.
If somebody came up on TV, like a new president, and he said, "Look, this is all the corruption. Half of you guys already know half this shit because you've seen it. And you also know we're printing money. I'm going to get rid of all this shit. We're going to need money, guys. I'm going to keep printing up until this date where I think we're going to solve the problem. And then after we get to this date and I solve the problem, we'll take however much money we have. That's it. No more money. And we're going to work our way back until we have enough gold to back this."
I don't think gold necessarily needs to be the standard, though.
It doesn't, but it is a good
like
one
it.
because there's a finite amount of it in the world.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only, like, that's the main reason I think is why we used gold.
And then
Yeah.
we'll go, and then we'll do this afterwards. After we fix the problem by keep printing, but we fixed everything else. Now we need gold, right? Gold's price is going to go up because we're going to be looking for gold. We're going to stop
Shield,
printing.
just ask AI to make gold for you.
Well, there are motherfuckers trying to make gold, but I don't know if we're ever going to be able to do that. But this is what we would do. Space missions. We'll be like, yeah, motherfucker, this planets and meteors full of gold. We're going to invest more money into our space.
I mean, this is a duh, but I just typed it into Google because Google gets plenty of duh questions anyway. But yeah, gold can just be made.
Can it be made?
It can. It says, okay, this is me reading the very first thing, maybe not the most responsible, but it just says, yes, gold can be made from other elements through nuclear reactions.
Nuclear reactions, yeah. But it's very expensive and impractical. So yeah, like it could be made.
Oh yeah, that's literally like it's like more expensive than what the gold costs.
Yeah, like
So
it just
infinite-
wouldn't be.
It's a negative money glitch.
Yeah.
So that, and I
It's
would
like
have,
I'll give you $100 and you'll give me 2 20s. And now I have 2 bills. so I'm richer.
since America has all this money.
It's the same thing you do in middle school.
Yeah.
Since they have all this money, I would be like, yeah, let's invest in working on this shit, even though it takes a long time. Let's do this. Let's be the major world's producer of gold. Since we want to print that much money, let's actually back it up. And that's what I would do. And we would be going to space and we'd be mining meteors.
The problem with that is for one, it's not cost effective to make the gold. So we'd be selling at a negative, and then it just gets worse because there's more gold available in the world. So the amount of it the price of it would go down.
We would invest into.
We're literally depreciating gold.
Yeah.
and money.
We
at
would
the
invest
same time.
into research because we would want to be the ones in the forefront.
Yeah, but we'll never catch up because the more gold we add to the world, the less valuable
it's a
the gold
gimmick.
becomes.
Can we make the thumbnail
be a
for this
gimmick.
episode like the Obama change thing, but it's Shield? Like Shield for 2024?
Yeah.
I'll try.
Look,
I don't know if I'll be able to get it up today, but
No, I can help you.
okay.
the gold thing would be a gimmick because we would be mining for gold in space. That would be gimmicky thing. Like people come for tourism and they'd be like, oh, America has the most gold. And that's how I would want America to look after we were like on TV saying, hey, look, guys, we're going to print a little bit more. This is the cutoff date. We're being transparent now, guys. We're printing.
It just says print at the bottom instead of change.
Yeah, I would be like,
Print gold.
You're
my slogan, print our future. We're going to print our future.
gonna print us into the dark age, Shield.
Because because I'm giving everybody a cutoff date and they can sleep at night. They're like, okay, look, the guy's not crazy. He's not going to keep printing like everyone else before him. He actually has a limit to where he's going to stop. And the limit is not amount of money. It's a time frame. And it's a situational thing in America where the wall would be finished.
Oh my God.
Hell yeah, if we just stopped giving money to Ukraine, we could build 3 walls.
Exactly. And that's what we would do. And the wall would be amazing.
That's all I'm saying.
I can see the vision now. I can see the vision of the wall now. The wall goes underground, y'all. It goes underground, it has security, it has drones, it has 2 sides of the wall. We're mining for gold in space. We're back on the gold standard. We got rid of the homeless organizations that try to end homelessness. We fixed that already. We got the migrants, sent them back. Now they're coming back in. We even made it easier. We put the migrants that we sent back, we'll put them in the front of the line to come back in legally.
Are you implying that mining gold in space is going to be cheap?
It's not going to be cheap, but it's going to be necessary because I'm not going to print anymore.
What if you just base it on like moon rocks instead of gold? That might,
or
since you're the president,
we just stop printing. We stop giving billions of dollars to other countries.
Let's say we only print it for
and
6
then we
months.
use that here.
Let's do some homework.
What?
You know, no, that's my slogan.
Oh yeah,
Kyle for president 2024. Let's do some homework.
You're my vice.
Homework. Oh, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, my mind immediately went to school. I'm like, homework.
You're my vice
homework.
because the side that's like, why the fuck is he still printing?
Come on, that's a good slogan.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
You're my
You
vice.
align with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're my vice. You're my fucking
Damn, I just got demoted.
You're
that
my
was fast.
chief, the military chief.
Hell yeah. That will end super well for the world. I'll tell you that much.
No, that's fine because that's
Black guy with 2 bald white dudes in his cab.
that's fine. But
Let's go.
We're not gonna print that long, guys. This is how I'm be on TV. I'm like, guys, listen, we're not gonna print that long.
I won't let Shield print in this situation.
Listen, guys.
He'll have an unfortunate accident.
Guys, listen.
Well, he has the bombs to blow up the printing press.
The printing is not forever. I would go every morning and say this. I would make people feel comfortable because no one tells us this now. I'd be like, listen, guys, we're fixing the homeless thing. We're building the wall. Guys, couple more months. We're back on gold, baby. Taxes. Oh, I would hook up the taxes, bro, because look, we're printing the taxes. We know that the taxes are going to pay off our debt. So I would be very transparent in that. And I would say, look, the taxes are actually going to print to pay what we're printing right now. Now everybody's like, oh my God, that sucks. But the money that we're also printing, we're using that to fix the shit that the taxes should be working on.
But what if I'm really rich? And are you gonna tax?
Don't worry about it.
You're gonna tax me less though, right? It's not an equal tax percentage.
Listen, man.
Am I paying more in taxes because I'm wealthy?
No, I don't want to mess with you because I want people to aspire to you. I want people to be like you. Okay.
Not everyone can be like me. Sheila.
I know. Everyone's not gonna be as rich as you are, sir.
They can't be because you stopped printing.
No, I didn't stop printing yet. And look, the same.
They have till July 3rd to get to my wealth.
But this is what it is. I'm not gonna stop printing yet. We're helping those people.
I'm a doomsday prepper, but all of my supplies is cold hard cash.
You're gonna be fine, sir. Your money is not gonna lose value. Think about it.
It will.
No, sir. Listen. You know what our plan is? We're gonna stop printing and we're backing by gold again. Buy your gold, sir.
I don't have to buy my gold. My money's supposed to be my gold.
Yeah.
And it will be, sir. But you have to wait a little bit.
You're shaving it.
By the end of this year, we're gonna look. This is what I would say when people say I'm shaving it. I would listen, people. For the ones that are saying I'm shaving it, this country's been shaving it for a while, guys. I'm just giving it a little buzz cut before we stop. We're gonna grow out this hair. All right, guys.
But you just cut your hair off.
Who said that?
I think it was the guy in the third row.
I think it's your vice president.
Sir, come up here. I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be like,
Right,
sir,
well,
come
I'm
up
going to
here.
go invade a couple of countries with the military I know
Oh, and that's
control,
one thing.
apparently.
One thing-
I'm going to go on my computer screen that runs the world since I'm vice president and move my commas over.
Guys. No more war. I said it here, guys. No more war. It's too sad, guys.
It would be
I don't
really
like it.
cool if all the super wealthy out there changed their focus to philanthropy.
Well, they give
but
like
only
millions of
in
dollars a year.
America.
Oh
Only
yeah,
in America.
Yeah, I agree with that. They also pay like 80% of our taxes.
Did it get to that point?
Like that is how it is.
Okay.
Like the top like 1% pays like 80% of the taxes. It's insane. Because I was explaining this to someone else. So when people try to claim that like rich people don't pay their taxes, what they mean is they don't pay a certain type of tax, and I think it's income tax. What they do is they pay it in other ways. Like that's how people were claiming that.
It's 45%, by the way.
I don't know about that. I've seen it at 80 before.
Oh, I'm sure this was 2024 though.
Okay.
So far, so it says earned 26.3% of total AGI, which I believe is like, the earnings, like earned growth in or gross income, right?
But
or average gross income.
So that's income tax.
They made 26.3 of all money earned, and paid 45% of the taxes. It doesn't work. That math isn't good.
So I think they're just going off of income tax. I'm talking total, like all taxes combined.
I'm not saying income tax. That's federal tax. So like they, out of all the money earned in the U.S., they made 26.3% of all money earned, and then paid almost half of the taxes. Yeah. It's not good math.
Yeah. So the what is it? Oh God, what was I talking about? The
bottom half of taxpayers, though, the bottom 50% only earned 10% of the money made.
So they
That's crazy. And only paid 2% of the federal individual income taxes.
Oh yeah. So like for example, that 1 year that Elon Musk paid the most amount of taxes in the history of anyone ever, there was also people saying that he paid zero taxes that year. Because what they're doing is they're only focusing on one type of tax, and the reason why they're not paying any tax on that is because I think it's like based off of like income or something like that, and then the way that businesses work, all of their assets are tied up in like they're like assets that could happen. They're not assets that they currently have.
That's correct. Yeah.
So they so
it's
they're
the
like
same thing as putting money in a 401k.
It's like saying like Elon Musk doesn't have $80 billion in his bank account. He has 80. I don't know where he's actually at.
$80 billion worth of
stuff that he could liquidate to get $80 billion right now.
Yeah, because you don't pay taxes on investments until you earn the money.
Well, they want to do that now.
Well, they want
to pay taxes. They want you to pay. They want to start making you pay taxes on things that could happen.
That
like
will
income
not work.
that could happen.
That could not work.
I know.
That's the only way that
that's
would
what
work
the Democrats
is if you
want,
cashed out every year and paid taxes on that every year.
Well, no, because you don't even have to have gotten that money. It's just what you could get. So they want to tax you on stuff that you could get.
So
I'm not going to pay taxes on my 401k.
Yeah.
Is it going as extreme as like
until I pull the money?
Yeah.
Is it going as extreme as like, oh, we have a podcast, we're starting it. It could be making.
No, it's so like
that would completely destroy the stock market.
Yeah, like it's the value of like your stocks and stuff like that, like things that you're not actually getting money from currently. They're like, well, if you liquidated it right now, you'd get $1 million, so you need to pay taxes on $1 million. It's like, I don't have enough money to do that because it's not actually in my bank account.
What if I lose?
That's the problem.
That's exactly. Yeah.
That's the problem.
So it's like, oh yeah, I have $10K in fucking blah 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 blah
investments
and
or whatever.
I'm gonna now pay taxes on $10,000, and then the stock market's gonna go down, and I'm gonna lose most of that money anyway.
It would destroy the economy.
I imagine people would just.
That is the worst
idea ever.
I imagine somebody.
It's worse than just keep printing money.
Yeah, I think printing money I'm here for.
Guys,
compared to that,
do anything like that. I would never. I just talked to that rich guy. I didn't want to take his money away from him. I said he was good. All rich people, I would have like a giant statue in front of me, and I'd be like, "Listen, guys, that's the goal. You guys, we make a lot of money. I stopped printing. Got 5 days into no printing. Imagine that day. 5 days into no printing. Look at this rich guy. He's one of the good ones. That's how it goes.
Okay. So
do you think we pay too much in taxes?
Like we?
Yeah, just like
I think I do.
yeah.
I'm for cutting taxes all across the entire board.
And we're cutting taxes.
I'm basically, if you ever wonder what my opinion on something would be, it's just like the stereotypical like right conservative. Like,
for
pretty
sure.
much is basically the. I mean, there's some differences here and there, but
do you think? I mean, personally, I think that a big problem with like tax that we pay, like, okay, I am so for paying taxes, obviously, and I even at the rate that I'm paying right now, like I am okay with it, but for personal reasons, because that money pays for things that I care about. So I feel like it's good, but as far as like government funded like health insurances. Pharmaceutical companies are fucking broken, and they're way overcharging for most things.
We need a more competitive nature.
So like if they would drop, and then our taxes could go down a little bit, that'd be great.
Well, yeah, if the government
that's a good change for your.
If the government got out of it altogether, I think prices would drop a lot.
What's that?
If the government just got out of that altogether, prices would drop a lot. Because there'd be competitiveness.
Oh, what out of
like pharmaceuticals.
Oh yeah.
Like because right now there's like this one company has the rights to it, and they basically get to just choose what they want to pay. Like whereas if the government would just got out of it, they'd be like, oh, so you're going to charge $100 for that pill? Well, it actually only costs $10 to make, so we're going to sell it for $50, and then a third person will come along and be like, screw you guys, we're selling it for $30.
Well,
and then
I think that only happens in specialty drugs, though, because I think that thing already happens because I'm sure they have people and a whole team that go through bidding for what is going to be supplied through government-assisted healthcare. There's definitely bidding for suppliers on those
it's
things.
just like if you've ever gone into any kind of situation and been like, why is this so expensive? Like, we know it only gets made for like $20. Why is it $130? 9 times out of 10, it's because the government in some part of that little transaction from it being made to getting to you, they have their hand in somewhere in there, and it's causing no competition. So there isn't able to, like, that's why, like, for example, cars and planes and stuff like that. It's like you need government handouts to compete with these other companies because they're getting government handouts. So that's the only way to be competitive.
Would this destroy it? Since you're my chief officer, like, so we just take these big pharma and all these guys.
Use the buzzwords.
We say, I
Tractor,
need that buzzword. Take big
farm.
pharma and just drive a freaking, I was gonna say a nuke. Drop a nuke on it and then like just get rid of it, right? Just get rid of it.
No.
Take the government's hand out. And this is what the government's going to do. Now tell me if this is going to destroy things. The government's going to make all this medicine.
It would destroy things. As soon as you said the government is involved, it's to destroy things.
We're the government now.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to make all this medicine.
But not forever. But not forever, though. That's the problem.
4 years. We got 4 years guaranteed because everybody loves us.
Yeah, but remember, any policies that you put in place now, they also are in effect for the next guy.
It's going to be so sweet for these people when we leave that they will literally raid the Capitol if anyone touches shit.
No, because what you're doing is you're giving ultimate power to the government because you know that you would use it correctly. But then when the next guy comes in and he also has the ultimate power, it could go very bad.
And we're planning for that. We're planning for that. We're putting so many things in to where for those 4 years, these programs help people's lives. They cannot be changed instantly. We're going to put so many markers for, like, you got to go through so many fucking loopholes. It's going to take hundreds of years for you to change this shit because it's going to be so sweet for the people. They're going to vote on it every fucking year or something. We're going to make people vote on it every year.
You really think people will vote in their best interest?
I feel like if you make it sweet enough for everybody where we're just laying up eating ice cream, it's like everyone's gonna be watching. There's gonna be a button that you can hit to change it, and everyone's gonna be staring at that button like, you better not fucking touch it. This shit is so sweet. But what I was saying is, like, we make the medicine, right? Super cheap, and then
very poor quality.
Super cheap, create jobs, And then we distance. We're not paying for this medical shit no more. So there's so much competition. But you can get it super cheap from the government if you need it.
No, the only time it would be super cheap if it was without the government.
Well, the government's just making it to just send out to places.
Well, no, I think we're running the government right now, so
Yeah.
we're setting the price at an appropriate level.
We're setting it at a proper super cheap level, and then all the competition can go out there. There's apps, doctors, whatever. You do, or you want to come to the government. You can get the medicine.
Can't make it too cheap, Shield. Otherwise, you're gonna have to print money to pay your scientists.
We're making it cheap, and we're gonna take the jobs, and we're gonna put these factories in the right places, and we're gonna build these factories where the people need the medicine. So if this medicine is needed somewhere, we're gonna build the factory right there. So they'll have
my front
all
lawn.
of it. And they're like,
I don't have a lawn.
like if there's like a terrible outbreak of Ebola somewhere, the next day there'll be a factory making the Ebola.
Like in
medication.
America?
No, in like let's say Africa or a different country.
So like right now.
We're doing homework.
Yes.
We're not worrying
I
about
don't
them.
care about other countries.
No, okay, look,
Like at all.
look. This is what we'll be doing. We're not gonna be fucking with other countries, but we're gonna be giving them little gifts.
No. I say screw them. I say we leave the UN. We leave NATO.
Well, you know why I put you where I put you. I put you there for a reason.
Yeah, I
So
say
if you want to do that,
screw all your countries. America first.
if you want to do that, America is first, and we did stop printing, but we will. That's what I'm gonna say every sentence. I'm like, we did stop printing.
It's like, yeah, things ended super badly, but we ended printing.
Yeah,
so we stopped printing.
Homelessness will be next after printing.
We gonna
How's that?
stop
That's
homelessness?
Oh,
Yeah,
this
we
is
are.
this is pretty good. I just typed in what happens if we stop. The first one was paying taxes. The second one was printing money.
Yeah, because because people get told, they're like, no, we need to print money, and realistically, we do at a certain rate that's equivalent with the economy and stuff, but we don't need to print as much as we are right now. It's insane.
Wow, this is hilarious. If the government stopped printing money, old banknotes would continue to deteriorate. Oh, that's what we're worried about.
The what would?
The bill.
Oh.
The bill getting old.
Yeah, that's
and breaking. Wow.
that's part of the real printing we do now. We replace money that's been destroyed.
Yeah, that's
Like
a big
that's
thing.
that's
Yeah.
the good printing.
Yeah.
Like
And we also replace money that doesn't exist.
You know, there's like, I mean, of course there is, but like there's a team out there that you can send your destroyed money to, and they'll like, you know, get it where like they repair it. Well, not repair it, but they'll like identify that it's a real note and then reprint money for like things like natural disasters or large sums of money that are destroyed for XYZ reason.
is it a government?
I think it's a private business that
Because-
works with the government.
Okay, because I was gonna say printing money, if you're not the government, is super illegal.
No. It's like a team of like investigators that do tests on why.
If you have like a broken or damaged bill, you can take it to the bank and they'll give you a new bill. Like
I'm saying things
No,
that were
what
like
I'm-
beyond
Yeah, what
taking it to the bank.
as long as there's I think half the serial code available, you can get a replacement, and then they'll just destroy that. Like they'll send it to the government, and then they'll destroy it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
also,
yeah,
There
that's
was
cool.
there was a story that I listened to where a couple was getting like some pretty serious like house renovations done, and it was you know just to like a business owner that was coming in doing the repairs like privately, and their dog got a hold of all the money that was left for the repair costs, and the dog ate like I think it was like upwards of like
Wait,
10 to 15 grand.
why did
They're
they
lying.
have physical bills in their house with that much
Well, they were going to pay the guy
in cash?
in cash.
Was
That's sketchy.
was he legal?
hey, you're-
like, why were they doing it in cash?
Hey, you're aligned on the right. You love cash. Chill.
Yeah, hell
It's in
yeah.
the
double-
But I'm just curious.
Was it in a
because
black duffel
usually
bag?
when in current day and age, when someone's using just money, especially with that amount, it's probably not something legal.
Either way, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But their dog ate it,
Damn, that sucks.
and they were actually able to go through the stool
I would be too.
and send back and recovered right around like 98% of the bills.
Yeah, hell yeah. Good.
I mean, they lost money.
yeah, yeah.
Like
I
they
mean,
did. But,
Yeah.
but like shout them out, bro.
Hell yeah, that's I would be too. I'd be like, all right. I'd be like, all right, dog.
Imagine
I'm
that
following
relief, bro. Imagine that relief.
Wait, was it all? I'm assuming it was all in hundreds, right?
I guess we can look up the story.
Because like for the dog to eat like $15,000 in one sitting, it'd have to be hundreds. Because you got what, like 10 100s is 1,000, so you do 10 more of those. So 100, like 150.
Oh, okay. It wasn't as much money as I thought.
Oh, okay. How much was it?
It was $4,000.
You're less of a drug dealer.
Okay, yeah, that's with 100 bills. That's really not like that big stack of a money.
Looks like it was 50s and hundreds.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, because like 10 100s is $1,000. So it would be like if it was all 100s, it would just be like 40 bills.
Well, I would think that how much money is enough for you to cut your
They
dog?
recovered $3,550.
Damn, good.
It's pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
I mean, it's not all of it, but you lost 500 or like $420 something dollars.
The dog's name was Cecil.
Damn you, Cecil.
Fuck you, Cecil.
Do you cut what number is high enough for you to cut your dog open and get it out of his intestines?
0. I would not do it. Like, I just wait for him to poop. Like,
Yeah, obviously this is a good option.
You know what's crazy? Because when you first
money's made out of like, it's not made out of paper. It's not going to disintegrate in your stomach. It's going to like
when you
go
were
through.
When you were first telling me about this, my immediate thought was like, yeah, we gotta cut the dog open. But it does make sense to wait.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't be president, Shield.
Well, no, guys, I'm just
This is a suggestion.
guys. I'll just get the job done. All right, look, we're gonna get the
Print
money
gold.
anyway. We're gonna get the money, guys. Okay,
Hey,
we're gonna get
From
it.
the dog's intestines.
Hey,
We're
can
gonna
you
get it one way or another?
can you pull this up?
Yeah. Can you read it? I can't.
The UN voted on whether or not food is a human right. The U.S. was the only country to vote no.
Oh.
Hell yeah,
Damn.
USA. No, I actually
I'd like
agree
to
with
see
that
the reason.
because it's not a human right. Anything that requires the effort of someone else isn't a right.
I agree.
So like food, unfortunately, would fall into that category because someone has to grow it.
Yeah.
So America seems to be right on certain things. Like I don't think America is completely like.
Oh no, we're wrong on a lot because I mean our leadership changes every 4 to 8 years, and it's usually the other party. So like, you know, we get stuff wrong a
Well, I
lot.
was saying yes.
I
And
mean,
no,
there should
yes
be
and no.
like there'd be like a right to go and eat wild game.
Yeah, I would love to. Do
Yeah, but at the
Yeah.
same time, that could completely destroy the population of that animal. So like there has to be regulations.
There has to be regulations, but like if someone doesn't have food, then they should at least have a way to make sure that they can acquire the food.
Get a job.
It's not. It's
Yeah, get a motherfucking job, motherfucker. You got 2 legs, 2 arms.
No, it's just anything that requires the effort. That's why like houses are not a right. Food's not a right.
Mm-hmm.
Water is definitely a right because you could just get that out of the air. Like you should be able to just
Breathe,
put out
motherfucker.
like a little bin, and whenever it rains, it's like boom, water. you
Yeah,
know?
I feel like you know, America's weird because we're soft on certain issues and then we're like brutally honest on certain others. And this one, I need to understand it, but I agree with you. Food is not a motherfucking right because God put food everywhere. So it's kind of going to what you're saying.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So the regulations make sense because there's a lot of us, but the regulations should at least give everybody one meal. One mule.
So I guess it wouldn't be a right, but it shouldn't be illegal for me to create a farm.
Oh no, 100%. I agree. You should be able to grow your own stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
You should never be. You should never have anyone
let's
come
say,
in and be like,
where
you can't.
where could I do that?
Here, nowhere. We
No,
do
I'm saying like in general.
in our backyard.
Yeah. But like, okay, say theoretically, I just got like plopped in, right? We're talking about basic human rights, right? And food isn't one of them. And I'm just here,
Mm-hmm.
I have no belongings, no nothing like that.
You just popped into the world like you're Adam.
Yeah, just
You're Adam.
that's me. I'm just here now.
You're just a full grown man. Just
like
popped
you
in.
plop me in, and here I am, starting from ground zero.
You'd probably be
Mhm.
famous.
Maybe, but
Probably be really famous.
I'm just getting started with basic human rights.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What can I do?
Well, you can go
What's
get
my
a,
first step?
The border.
probably go get go get registered
$10,000.
because
I haven't eaten, Brandon.
I would go to the border. I would be like, bro, they'll give you $10,000. They'll put you in a hotel.
Could I go fish?
Yeah, there's plenty of places around here
You
you
could
can
definitely
fish.
eat, dude. Like, I'll be like, dude, there's some fruits over there. It just depends whether you get dropped off at.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You get dropped off in the city, it's
Yeah.
screwed.
I'm just
You're
saying
like,
it's
fuck.
like there's not really a whole lot of. Actually, I don't know if there's any public land necessarily, right? Are you allowed to farm on BLM?
Yeah.
What do you mean BLM?
Like
He's
BLM
talking,
land?
yeah.
What do you mean like the mansion they bought?
No, he's talking about like the like Chazistan.
Oh, you mean that like literal insurrection?
I don't
Yeah,
think anything will grow there.
Yeah, they had farms there. They were really bad, really sad and shitty.
Yeah. I don't,
It's
yeah.
funny.
BLM is Bureau Land Management. It's like where I go ride my
Oh.
dirt bike.
Oh.
Like it's not private, but it's
If it's
like
government owned,
federally owned.
yeah, you can't do anything on federally owned land. That's the
No,
that's why
you
people.
you can BLM land. You can go out there and you could camp on it
Mhm.
and live. I mean, there are specific things you can't do, like fires and stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Oh, that
obviously,
sucks.
but you could drive out to BLM and just put up a tent.
But
and
that sucks. I
stay
can't
there.
make a fire. That kind of sucks. That kind of kills it all for me.
I don't know if you can actually live there.
Because I want to
I'm not
barbecue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm assuming that any kind of change to the environment is prohibited. So that would include farming.
Wait,
so-
can I not bring a grill out there? It's kind of like, sorry. it's
No,
just-
that's uses fire.
So I thought you were talking about BLM, like Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like we're losing our rights, man.
What
Well, is it true?
It's prohibited.
what rights?
Our rights to burn shit anywhere we want.
Okay, so other types of agriculture are prohibited on BLM managed lands, except for livestock grazing. You can graze your cattle on BLM land.
Oh, that's great. It keeps
Okay,
the
so
fertile.
you go
it
get a
keeps
cow.
The ground fertile.
Yeah.
Feed it on BLM land and then kill the cow.
Can I plant cucumbers?
You can't farm on it.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah. So it says BLM issues permits and leases of public land to be used for crop harvest.
Cucumber harvesting. I would just like to grow little cucumbers in this
When
area.
they say other types of agriculture are prohibited, it might be just like, oh, you can't grow weed.
Oh, that was the second. Weed and cucumbers. And then I was gonna turn them into pickles. I was gonna make some pickles.
All
You had a fresh pickle.
So let's talk about the phones that you wanted to talk about, because I'm curious about like what you were talking about.
Oh, I think we should just like pull up a list of like there's got to be like a list, right?
Of like what exactly though?
I would just put in like weird phone designs, like the evolution of phone designs or something like that. There's some weirdies out there.
Oh man. Oh, this is so crazy to see these things. Because you thought that these things were gonna lead to something way crazier, not just a fucking piece
All right,
of
so we have
plastic.
the Samsung P300.
That's the future.
Bro.
I
I just think it's
Doesn't look bad.
Shield,
That
do
gives me anxiety.
Wait, Brandon, can I have your phone for like 2
I had a
milliseconds?
great childhood, but that gives me anxiety.
This is kind of the thing we run into now. It's like, all right, I've got this black rectangle versus this black rectangle.
Mm-hmm.
There's really just no identity anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's fine. They get their thing done. It's all like inside, but like, you know, where's the character, man? Where's the fun?
Well,
Yeah,
you
like,
just because today you want the biggest screen possible.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, input it.
You know, middle
Whoa. The Bang & Olufsen Serenata. $2,000.
$2,000. Yeah.
What?
Yo, this company was wild.
Is that a cell phone? Like, that doesn't even look like one. The Bang & Olufsen Serene.
That's like an evolution of like the rotary phone, you know? Like if the rotary phone just like stuck in and it was like permanent. Oh.
The C91 Golden Buddha phone.
Okay.
Oh, there's
So they tried to make it look like
there's a
Buddha influence, but it straight just looks like birth control.
Yeah. Also, there's a Buddha symbol in the middle. That they probably couldn't sell in America today. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. What? Wait, that symbol was also like
It's Hindi, I think,
for
like peace or something.
peace.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
No,
but
it's
it's like
supposed to-
it's swapped though. I think it's like the other direction.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that symbol's supposed to be really good.
It's got a lot of strength, you know.
Yeah, I can't believe.
Yes, the pen phone.
Wow. The Hair P7.
I know that there's a phone that was like designed after lipstick.
Yeah, that's definitely
Yeah.
a woman's phone right there.
6-day battery life and a 0.3 megapixel camera.
0.3. Wow.
That's a woman's
2004.
Hmm.
Displays a 64 by 128 pixels screen.
You could count them
Yes.
if you tried with a toothpick.
I mean, 6-day phone for just calling and stuff wouldn't be too bad.
Great.
phone. If a woman had a phone like that, I'd marry her.
The LG G Flex.
Yeah.
The
Whatever.
Flex didn't flex, but it was pretty innovative for its time.
It was very curvy.
Mm-hmm.
Great for people that like putting their phones in their back pocket.
Yeah. We used to call that in the biz the butt bend. We would come in and it was like, yeah, my screen's broken. It's like, do you put your phone in your back pocket? I was like, yeah. It's like, because it's bending the phone, dummy.
Oh, the Virgin Mobile Lobster.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That.
Thing is a tank.
Let's see what they got to say about it. 2006 was a television phone, a phone you
Yeah.
could watch TV on.
Yeah. They called it a telephone.
Yep. Yes, they do.
I'm sorry. That was tasteless.
The Microsoft Kin.
I mean, that could have been cool.
It just looks like a sliding BlackBerry.
It looks like a nightmare to hold.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very odd. Motorola Flip Out.
That also looks like a nightmare to hold.
That looks like a modern phone.
I think I had that one. I had that.
No, you didn't.
Bro, I swear I had that phone.
Wait.
Bro.
When?
Bro, I was like, oh my God.
I want a year shield.
I was
Hurry.
young.
I'm gonna guess.
If it's
I'm gonna
not-
guess 2008.
If it's not that one, it's exactly like that. Like, it was exactly like that, bro.
So this is published in 2010,
Oh.
but that's the article.
I want to
Right?
say I probably was like 12 or something.
I don't see a year.
Oh well.
I could Google it, but I don't really want to.
Yeah, you
So-
don't have to. It's okay.
Wow.
We'll just confirm it as 2010.
I did
Yo,
not have that. That looks
I
so
had
cool.
one of those.
Wow, that looks terrible.
Not that one.
That looks like Play-Doh.
I had a StarTAC though.
Yeah,
I like the
Yeah,
colors.
it was just all black.
out of your mind. In the 1990s.
Yeah, man. Look at that color scheme, bro. Could you Google that one?
How old were you?
Huh? Oh, that was like my first phone. Like my dad got a new one and I got his old one.
Did you see the one with the
It made
colors?
calls though. No.
What am I?
You never would. Because I'm pretty sure this thing's like super rare and crazy expensive.
What am I looking up here?
I was looking for the price.
Oh, 4K video streaming. Imagine.
Talk time 120 minutes. Standby 40 hours.
That's not that good.
No.
That's
For a
not that
flip
good.
phone?
Yeah.
No video recorder.
Wait, what was
no,
that first
no,
comment?
no. It didn't have a camera,
Yeah.
bro. It didn't even have a colored screen.
Wait, go back down to that comment.
It was 1997. Oh, look, they even said the screen doesn't
worked
have any
like a
color.
charm for stoning that ghost in my closet. What?
Yes.
Could you just look up price?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure these things were like crazy expensive. $1,000 in 1997.
But I think that might be now. Oh no, it was introduced at 1,000.
That's insane.
Wow,
Wow.
that is crazy.
Oh, there's the lipstick phone.
The Nokia 7280.
So this one, I'm pretty sure it didn't have like any other input besides the scrolly wheel.
It was best if you had all of your contacts stored so you didn't have to enter them by scrolling, as there was no number pad.
So how'd you call? You don't.
It had a screen that also worked as a mirror, some fabric accents, and even a numberless dial pad.
I think this was like a time where like phones were like a fashion accessory more than like something that you were caring about like the efficiency.
So it was made for women,
Before you were like trapped.
basically. Because like it comes with like essentially a mirror,
That's cute.
and it's like,
I think it clicks out too. You like click it in it.
Nokia. Wow.
That's the leaf,
Dude, Nokia's was crazy.
They're wilding out, bro. Imagine typing on that with T9, bro.
Looks like
you're like
looks
you have
like
to
a,
like learn a whole new input source to
Hell
use your
yeah.
phone properly.
It was so impressive how fast people did though. Like when people would get used to their phones and they would be able to text really fast.
Yeah,
looks like a Tamagotchi.
a little bit.
Nokia 7700.
Jesus, was
That's-
this supposed to be gaming centric?
Yeah,
or-
like that's a handheld from a console that was trying to compete with Game Boy at the time.
Imagine
Like,
having a screen that big and it not being touchscreen.
coming at a time when 3.5-inch display was unheard of, this one featured the ability to show things like spreadsheets. Ooh.
True.
Was inch
Oh,
device.
look at this. We got a touchscreen. Well, kinda.
A PDA. Oh my God. You remember when they had us like learn that in school? They're like, this is the
PDA.
future. You need to know how to use a PDA. I'm like, this is crazy. And then literally never saw one ever again.
It just shows that your teachers were always like trying to be on the cutting edge of like finding out what's next.
Shows that they're terrible at telling the future.
Mm.
For 2005, okay.
Okay.
Wide touchscreen. It's brilliant for gaming.
Sure.
What about the ring? No, it's not.
Yeah, playing Snake on that was great.
Wow.
Yo. So this one's pretty interesting. It has a Zeiss lens.
What does that mean?
It's like the cameras that we're using right now are using Zeiss lenses.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. It captured 30 frames a second with its 3.2 megapixel camera and plays it back on a 2.4-inch screen.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool, man.
Was focused on video
I think
camera.
it's like Carl Zeiss. Yeah, there you go. Camera with Carl Zeiss optics.
Capture.
It came with a little lens cap that you actually put over your camera.
Oh my God. I actually know about this one.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a phone. So
The Engage.
remember back in the day, like the Newgrounds world, like era.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so there was these, there was this series of videos called like the decline of video gaming or something like that. It was like, it was 3 things and it was just parodies. And it was like, yeah, I just bought a new game on my N-Gage. And they're like, what did you just say? It was like, I mean, I pirated, I downloaded, and they were like, you bought a game for the N-Gage? And he's like, no, I swear I did buy it.
That's
Dude,
fun.
I definitely downloaded it in a file, dude. I did not spend my money on it, dude. I swear.
Gaming snobs weren't terribly impressed at the design and preferred dedicated devices.
Of course.
Yeah. Pantech Pocket.
I definitely no, it's fine. I think
We're delving into the boring world here.
Yeah, it still has buttons at the bottom though.
It does. Yeah.
So it's still in that in-between era.
Mhm.
I've had something like that in the past, and I've been like, I'm so cool.
Samsung Galaxy Round.
Wow. That's for the
Why?
front pocket instead of the back pocket.
Like I feel like now we're getting
See?
we're getting into the like area where like now my consciousness is like starting to develop in my life.
But you know how
Samsung's
hard it
always
is?
been infatuated with the idea of the screen not being flat.
Yes. You know how hard it would be to find a screen protector for that phone?
A case?
Yeah, just like, well, the case you could like purposely like have already bent and stuff
Well, you
like that.
probably wouldn't need a screen protector as much in ways. If you
But
think
think
about
about,
like
like,
if you think
plastic.
about it, right? Because if you lay it down, like it's off the table.
That's true.
right? I don't know.
And half those screens are like
It's
some
terrible.
plastic.
Imagine holding that. You're gonna get carpal tunnel.
The Samsung Juke.
Wow.
Now I'm starting to like notice these phones.
do you think it like fully extends, or does it have to only have that orientation? Because imagine it's like weighed over to like the side a little bit. I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
When closed, it used a music playback. When swiveled open, it became a mobile phone.
Okay,
You
so
would think
was
it has to go all the
MP3.
way.
Yeah, it's very MP3
Yeah.
like prioritized.
Wow.
Yo.
The Samsung Matrix.
Did they straight make this phone just for the Matrix?
I mean, it has that graphic, right?
It has to be. They
That
released
looks-
this shit for the Matrix, bro.
That
I
looks like
loved how like all these phones look like sci-fi and Matrix, like Men in Black type shit.
Tie-in with the film.
That's
It was really designed to be a collector's item for the fans. It wasn't the greatest of phones. It's made in 2003.
I still think it's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think.
Oh, I forgot it's up on the screen.
I didn't know you would have something like that.
Stop
if you
trying to
were
look
Matrix.
through my mic.
Like I didn't know Matrix fans had something like that to collect.
One day laughs.
It had no MP3 capabilities, couldn't play video, and it didn't even have a web browser.
But it looked cool. I guess.
Somebody should restore it and put like a freaking iPhone in there.
Wow.
The Simon's Zelibri, spelled with an X.
Celebrate.
Why is there 4 things?
Looks like Life
1,
Alert.
2, 3, 4. That's why.
It's all 4?
I think it's 4 different devices, depending
all
on
about-
what style you wanted.
You get all 4.
Included the price, however, blah, 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 blah. Range phone. Devices that were intended to be fashion focused, so much that they were released in collections. Fashion?
That's very fashion forward.
It's really ugly colors, though.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
you had like a nice cardigan that was matching,
Okay.
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
They look like medical equipment.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say it. So does this one.
Wow.
What's this?
that looks like some COVID shit.
That looks like a thing you would use for like
Your fishing enthusiast
Fishing,
father
yeah.
will love this.
phone you could wear on your wrist.
Oh.
Years ahead of the Apple Watch, this literally was a phone that came with a wrist strap. The Teslon TWC 1150.
Tesla.
I want
Okay,
that.
I was
The
like, did
Tesla
I read
watch.
that
This
wrong?
is the only
No.
phone I want.
Was something special phone that you could wear. Yes. Probably way ahead of its time and certainly not as snazzy as modern smartwatches. It was something like, where's this?
Where's the snazzy
You wear it like
factor?
this.
Where's the strap?
I think the strap is the
keypad.
The keypad.
It goes around.
That would be terrible.
Dude,
Bro,
it's a
that'd be
Pip Boy.
fire, bro. That'd
Be really, so you'd be like,
Yeah. Or probably like one of these, you know? It's like,
I was gonna
you're
wear it like that.
and you're
You
like,
can wear it so many ways.
you're like looking at the screen like this.
God, I'm so glad we didn't go that direction.
We did. It
The
just
Toshiba G450,
That looks like a radio.
looks like
a Bluetooth, yeah, like a Bluetooth speaker, yeah,
a massage chair.
looking like a bloated USB stick as well as the same design approach as many of the Nokia handsets that presumably you only called your contacts. Okay,
Yo, they were just doing stuff.
yeah,
They were just doing stuff. Like, that's the most toxic fucking number pad I've ever seen.
yes. It reminds me of those old video game, the Intellivision and the ColecoVision, just like very user unfriendly buttons.
I like how they did 1 through
1 through 5 or
1,
6.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
And then zeros in the bottom.
No,
Ugh.
I want all these phones.
The Yoda phone.
Oh,
Oh, that looks boring.
when was this? 2013?
2 screens are better than 1.
Oh.
Yoda believed that meant an e-ink display on the rear.
Oh.
Okay,
That's
so
kind of cool,
less
actually.
boring.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. 2013, and promised the best of both worlds with a combination of standard smartphone screen on one side and ebook style on the other. Quirky, quaint, and ever so slightly bonkers. We actually thought it was pretty nifty. A year later,
agree.
the Yoda Phone 2 followed, so it must have been semi-popular. That's actually a good concept.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I don't know if I would want a screen, like, because modern day, my phone is always covered with a
Right.
case.
Yeah.
So you
But
couldn't
like
use a case with this.
Like the e-ink screen covers aren't like it's not glass generally, so it might. Not
I would be
so
more
bad.
worried about the front one.
Of course.
Yeah.
So and then also,
But they make. Have you ever used like I used like a bumper case for a while. Have you seen those?
oh, there's the
I mean,
edges.
it's just the edge.
Yeah, like a really pronounced like edge case.
Not having.
Actually, not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as like your life environment doesn't have too many.
Yeah.
Like
I'm dropping this motherfucker constantly.
not anymore.
The Nokia
Wow.
9 PureView.
Hey, they could just come back with the same design and then it'd be normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty fire.
Maybe a little excessive on the cameras. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe, and then whatever that black one is on the right.
I mean, we're getting there.
Yeah, I got 3.
Yeah, 3. Yeah,
The fuck are you supposed to do? Record fucking AR videos with that? That's probably the first one that let you do AR.
maybe.
The growing focus on photography, blah 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 blah, with 5 cameras.
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Huh.
Okay,
And
so
a
what's
flash.
the black thing?
It's probably another camera. Oh wait, no.
Yeah, that's
1,
what I'm
2,
saying.
3, 4, 5. Oh.
That's what they want you to think.
Is it just for symmetry?
It might be for focus or it's for light detection.
Okay.
So it would it's the auto flash most likely. Yeah.
What year
it's a
is this?
photo cell, maybe.
In the last couple of years, smartphones makers have been cramming blah 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 blah. Might be
Doesn't
most
give
memorable. It's a weird and wonderful phone with 5 camera designed. I am curious what year this came out.
Because this could be that, you know.
It's looking 2014, 2015 to me.
Yeah, because if it was relatively recently, that's bad.
Yeah. Oh my
2019,
god.
5 years ago.
Okay. Unless the cameras were actually good. They probably weren't.
That's a good point.
I could imagine they were good.
Wikipedia.
I could imagine if this came out in 2005, that little black thing, it wouldn't do anything.
That can record in 4K.
Oh, okay. The cameras might have been okay.
Wireless charging.
Bro, after 20...
I mean, it's a Nokia. It's probably not going to be like utter garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, after like 2015 or 16, I want to say the cameras were like good, bro. Oh, shit. I want to say the cameras were like good after like 2015, 2016.
All 5 lenses are identical
phone.
12 MP f/1.8 units.
Wait, what? They're all the same?
Says identical.
Why?
I don't know.
That extra.
It lacks phase detection, autofocus, and optical image stabilization.
It was trash.
When a picture is taken, each camera takes a separate image. Then the images are combined and processed by a digital signal processor. Pictures can be taken in both JPEG and RAW formats and can be edited afterwards through Adobe Lightroom, which can be installed during setup.
Okay.
They were trying.
It had a Pro mode originally, which simulates DSLR settings, which gives you 1,200 layers of depth data.
Interesting.
There's a reason why we're not walking around with Nokias right now, so it probably wasn't very good.
Speak for yourself, buddy.
What are you walking around with?
He just put it in his pocket because it's not a Nokia.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it spins.
Is it a fidget spinner? That's what it was. It was a fidget spinner phone.
And then is this categorical throughout the year? Because this would be like 2020, huh?
No, this is not in order.
Yeah, it has
Imagine.
buttons. So like the outer shell spins.
In what world would you need it to be to the left or the right?
Well, some people are lefties.
You got a small head?
Some people are righties.
No, I'm saying like, why would you? Like, I'm assuming that the part that you hear from is the weird silver lump.
Yeah, it's that little middle part, I think.
So,
Yeah.
like, why would you want it to be over just to the left or the right? Okay.
You know, I thought phones would look like that forever.
Oh, yeah, man.
The Motorola V100
That thing looks great.
looks like a cheap game knockoff thing you would see today, like a
100%.
Game & Watch or
It
something.
looks like I
the
would
vending
fucking
machine.
spill fucking grape soda on it and fucking Cheeto
I already
dust.
know that little headset has that tiny little foam fucking cover
Mhm.
over it, and my
yeah, no,
ear's
you
hurting.
can see it. Yeah,
It looks like it would slice the inside of my ear open.
shame it looks like a child's toy. was all buttons and one heck of a message-centric device.
You know what? I bet you this was probably one of the first devices that had a full keyboard.
It was seen as the phone that started, or at least supported, the two-way messaging craze back in the day.
Oh, so it was very text forward.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's all you can say about it. Okay. All right. No, why?
Yeah.
If you
really
have a
wanted
full
one of
touch
these.
screen, why would you want your phone small?
Yeah, no.
It doesn't make any sense. Just give me buttons at that point.
Yeah. It has web browsers.
There's one even smaller than that.
2019.
That thing is just so Google. It's so Google.
That's fucking sexy.
Mizu Pro
Mizu
7.
Pro 7.
Just had a little.
You think that's a picture or is it like a constantly moving thing?
It's probably a picture.
That's fucking sexy.
Many have played with the idea of two screens. It didn't work, but others are still trying to perfect the image of a rear screen for selfies. Oh,
it's
so that's an actual screen.
Oh. I don't know if I want like a priority to be like a back. So, no. Just make the camera on the front better.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure like they can't because it has to be like that small one camera. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Spirit Kyocera Echo.
Yo, is that like the first tablet phone here? Is that what this is? Is that
It looks
what
like
this is going for?
Remember those like mini Game Boys?
Yeah.
That's what it
it's
looks
a
like.
DS. Yeah. He's got two things running on that thing. It's probably gonna die in 20 minutes.
Yeah, CNN and Facebook.
Ew, that's toxic.
Yeah. 2011.
Oh, that's pretty. It's pretty crazy forward for 2011. I feel.
Mm-hmm. Ericsson 688.
Yo,
Oh
that
my God.
Keyboard is hilarious.
You think that actually came with the phone or is it an
It's
extension?
an extension for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
That
You're trying
is-
to type on that. You're cracking the fucking like Terminators between the two of them.
Yo, you remember? It reminds me of the gamepad you could use for the Xbox. The little ones you could plug into the bottom of the.
Dude, is this made by Sony? It's
No,
Ericsson.
Ericsson.
Right? Yeah, but like I think Sony Ericsson was like a collab for like a hot minute.
Yeah.
right?
But back in the day, before blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. It doesn't really have much to
Sony
say.
doesn't make phones anymore.
Are you sure?
I don't know if Sony makes phones anymore.
Yeah, I think they might have dropped out of it. I don't know. I think Sony Xperia. It's for like $1,200.
Oh,
I would
shit.
hope it's new.
Wow, what a ripoff of like the iPhone wallpaper. That's hilarious. Like look up the iPhone 14. I think it was the 14. Try iPhone 15. Try iPhone 13.
Oh, I didn't even get a picture for that one.
Damn.
They were like, yeah, we don't talk about the iPhone 13.
There was definitely a wallpaper that looks exactly like that Sony one at one point. I don't know if it was the launch. Oh yeah, there it is.
iPhone 14 Pro
That's
Max.
the 11. Oh, that's a 14 Pro?
Yep.
Yeah, that's definitely that's the wallpaper I was referencing though.
Wait, what were we looking at?
I never left.
Oh, the Sony.
I never left.
Yeah.
I didn't leave.
Oh no.
I'm not back.
Okay. I don't know. It's a little different,
It's pretty similar.
but it's pretty similar. Yeah.
Like they even went with the purple. Like,
Yeah.
Come on, y'all.
What the fuck?
Oh.
Whose
my
mom's
God.
phone is that?
That's
Hey,
Doctor
dude.
Who's.
Oh, dude,
Your
it's
mom
that,
left her
it's the
phone.
fucking Zelbri or thing again.
Yep. The Simmons.
Yeah.
Dude,
The
your
Nokia.
mom left her fucking phone, dude. Your mom's phone's just sitting here, dude.
Another phone in the company, blah, 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 blah. It was featuring an interesting design that included an etched mirror surface, a leather cover, and a mirror display. 2 MP camera. 340-pound price tag.
Wow. Yo.
I
it's
like that.
So cute.
I do like
Gross.
No?
The Sony Ericsson Xperia Pureness.
You know, it probably actually looked like hot trash, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I could tell just by looking at it right
What
now.
do you mean? That's beautiful.
No, it's not. It's probably like plastic.
Okay, but if that was glass,
Mhm. Yeah.
imagine if that was glass.
That's the end of the list.
Look, the ring. What's the ring?
No shield. No.
That's the smallest keypad
Well,
in the world.
that was something. Little trek through time there.
Yeah.
You had some like WEF stuff or no?
I'm not staring at her boobs.
It was all the.
No, it was all on Twitter. The only thing that I could talk about right now that's based on what we were just talking about was I have a kind of interesting phone story from my high school era.
All right.
So as we were kind of talking about before, I was a late adapter to the touchscreen. I didn't really like it. I liked buttons.
I totally never would have expected.
Yeah. So I liked buttons. So one time in high school, I went and I got a BlackBerry. I bought a BlackBerry off Craigslist from this dude or whatever. It was fine. It worked.
Scroll wheel master race.
Yeah.
Scroll ball. Sorry.
And I loved it. I thought it was great. The problem was, and I don't think it was the problem with the phone. I think it was a mixture of the phone and my service I was using. I can't remember who I was using at the time. I was talking with this one girl at the time. Her name was Dominique. Mm-hmm. And we were kind of getting along. There was never like any chance of anything ever happening. I was interested. She wasn't. But like this basically stopped us from even being friends.
Oh.
So we were talking, we were just texting back and forth, whatever. And then all of a sudden, all of her texts were just one letter. Like I would say like, like, hey, what's up, whatever. And then she would just send back like A or like just C or like just D or whatever.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. And then, that just kept happening for like a day or two. And then I started getting angry. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you just sending me one letter? Like, what the hell? Like, this is really annoying. It's frustrating.
It's not like you can send her a screenshot.
Yeah, like, and I got like annoyed. And turns out it was cutting off her entire message and only giving me the first letter.
Oh.
And she got really mad at me for assuming that she would do that. So she stopped talking to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Solution being a phone call.
Yeah.
But that would never happen.
Hell no. I don't talk on the phone.
Yeah, that doesn't happen now. Now what happens is I was just sending you a letter. I didn't feel like texting you.
Well, I mean, like, whose
Shield's
first
new
thought
strategy
would be that there's some kind of technical glitch where the phone is only showing me the first letter of her text message?
Her phone got an update and yours didn't.
I don't know what it was.
That, bro, this is what's so beautiful about this whole thing. We are in a time period. Think about the motherfuckers that were older than us. We're in a time period where we get to see so much change, bro. So much change. Like, it was intuitive to you to text her, but you were texting her on a device that had never existed before. There was already nuances and how you should act and all these things that you wouldn't expect to happen, normalities. And you're just fucking living your life as a child, just fucking texting and shit, just fucking accepting it all. Like, that's beautiful, dude. That's beautiful. And she shouldn't have fucking fought you over that, because she should have known that this is an ever-evolving technology and the friendship is more important.
Yes. Well, we were definitely that ingrained in technology when the BlackBerry era was around.
We weren't, and that's what was so beautiful about us. We had our fucking foot out. Like, we had 1 foot in, 1 foot out. We were like, dude, it's just a phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a phone. That's all we said. It's just a phone. We never assumed that it would have our borders spilling open. Well, we never thought it would fucking resort to that, dude.
Shield for president.
Or us all getting locked in the house. I will stop printing the money, guys. I'll stop printing it, guys. We're done. 5 days in.
5 days in, 2 hours in. I think we're also done here.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stop printing the money.
Yes.
Let the balloons pop or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm your vice president. Master in chief.
Master in chief.
Yeah, president, yeah.
Commander in chief.
Yeah. Bro, it fucking worked, dude.
Master in chief of Shield. And the guy with the guns. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day or night.
Yeah, peace.